The story begins in the middle of the night. The moon shining brightly as ever, was a green-haired female, who seemed to be coughing up blood, injured by someone. Next to her was another pink-haired female who was also worried about her. Senior sister, are you alright? The pink hair's name is Bei Xiaohei of Flower Group, and the green hair's name, Bei Kinger of Flower Group. I'm alright, she replied back. However, the people who were chasing them did not give them a chance to rest, as they surrounded them with no escape. We need to escape from this disaster. The one who was leading was a busty purple-haired girl. Humph, you're still thinking of running away after offending the Empress? You'd better turn yourself in for committing such a grave mistake. A grave mistake? What nonsense! Shouted back Bei Xiaohei and continued as the scene shifted to the afternoon. We participated in your Wuji sect ceremony, and saw you worshipping a person using the ritual of worshipping heaven and earth. Why are they doing this? Are they not afraid that the person will be swallowed by the heavens and earth? Asked the pink hair Bei Xiaohei, which naturally caught everyone's attention, as if she said something taboo. I only asked the question because I was curious, but that made you guys hunt us down. She continued ferociously. Your Wuji sect treats human lives as worthless. It's clearly a demonic sect. Annoyed, the girl with purple hair spoke out sarcastically. You asked a question only out of curiosity? You should know that the person you were discussing is the Empress's master. Hearing that both of the girls from the Flower Group were shocked, the Empress's master? Huh? Could it be? That's right. It's the legendary Demon Supreme. She replied back, and continued, not only is he the master of the Empress, but even the Poison Supreme of the South, and the bloodthirsty assassin of Wangxi City were also taught by him.
You dare misspeak that the Demon Supreme will be swallowed by the heavens and earth. Unsheathing her sword, she also added, the Empress has already been kind enough by not wiping out your whole sect. In your next life, mind your own business, and keep your mouth shut. With that she launched herself at them, for an attack, and behind her were her followers also rushing to attack, and seeing them attack, Bei Kinger shouted, Xiaohua, run, I will hold her back. However, before the skirmish could begin, a cracking sound resounded in the sky, crack, and in the next seconds, the lightning that was causing a commotion descended down with great speed and power, which struck in between the fight, stopping the battle. Bang! After everyone stepped back, Bei Kinger asked, what's going on? Has the earth dragon turned over? However, looking up, the people saw that it was not the end of things. Oh, what's happening? At the peak of the mountain, there was a figure of a man in the middle of the storm, who seemed to have just opened his eyes after what seemed to be a long time. His name, Ye Shen, former head of the Zuenti sect. The Mick, who now thought, no breakthrough. The realm is still the same even after 100 years of seclusion, but it looks like the physical body is sanctified. I should be considered immortal now, right? Let's count this as a successful exit. After that he unleashed his aura and power. The seas and mountains below were blown away, his power also reaching the people who were fighting not too long ago, and they could only also be blown away by his terrifying power. Seemingly oblivious to his surroundings, he continued to unleash more of his power, waving his hands to execute some techniques. The techniques which were causing massive destruction everywhere, especially to the purple-haired girl and her subordinates, as they were all sent flying. Wow. Oh, what are you doing? She asked loudly, but there was no response and only mayhem. Realizing that they were at a disadvantage, the girl could only curse. Damn it. There is an expert protecting them, so we must report to the sect leader immediately. Retreat, she shouted, and with that they all ran. On the other side, the one who just caused a commotion was just chuckling to himself. Not bad. The power, this body. Before he could finish his thought, he finally glanced down to look at the aftermath of his own doing, and realizing there were people down there, he suddenly thought, someone's there. Was there someone on the mountain I just cut down? He then panicked. Oh no, I didn't notice them at all. I didn't accidentally hurt anyone, right? I have to confirm quickly. With that he flew down, and seeing him, Bai Xiao pointed up at him. Sister, that person is rushing over here. And as he landed, the ground beneath them collapsed and the wind blew ferociously, also affecting the two females. However, with that we got to witness a lovely scene, as the pink-haired grabbed her senior sister's soft pillows. Are you okay? He asked. The scene then shifts to some few minutes later, as he was briefed about their situation. So that's it. So you're saying that you accidentally said the wrong thing, and you were being hunted down by the Wu Yi sect just for that? Nodding their heads, they agreed. Wu Yi sect. The name sounds quite nice. It's very similar to my Zuenji sect, he thought to himself. And the title of Empress that you mentioned is also quite domineering. But no matter how domineering you are, you can't randomly kill someone just because they misspoke. If my disciple Luan Yaner was here, She definitely wouldn't allow such a thing to happen. Bai Xiaoa jumped to praise. Senior is undoubtedly an expert. Your disciple must be a person of noble character as well. Right, sister. Her sister, however, on the other hand, was looking rather pale as she could only stutter Not waiting any longer, Ye Shen turned to leave. All right, since you're fine, I won't stay any longer. Take care of yourselves. I have something to do. I shall take my leave. With that he kicked the ground and flew away, leaving them speechless. Wow. An expert is an expert after all. He disappeared in an instant. Will we also be this powerful in the future, sister? Sister. Not hearing a response, she glanced at her senior sister, who was now trembling and shaking in fear. Her legs also later gave in and she could not help but fall down. With a shaky voice she repeated what she heard. Luan Yaner. He said his disciple's name is Luan Yaner. Xiaova, did you forget? The Empress hunting us down is also called Luan Yaner. Hearing her, Xiaova also became pale, shifting to our boy Ye Shen, who was oblivious about actually being the demon supreme. He was happily thinking about how his lovely disciples are doing now. A flashback then occurred, as he was being addressed by someone, Master, Master, Master. With the last call he jolted awake. The scenery was one of war, dead bodies and fierce battles. Behind him was a little girl, and other disciples who were worried. The little girl then asked Ye Shen, her master, if he was really going to abandon them and enter seclusion. Laughing he replied, "Don't worry, your master has already killed all the rebels. In the next 100 years, no one will dare to offend my Xuanji sect easily. Everyone doesn't have to be afraid." However, he was interrupted by the little Empress, who shouted, "No," and with tears in her eyes continued, "I don't want the master to leave." However, he was not going to change his mind as he also shouted, "Stop it. I exhausted all of my skills just so that all of you can live peacefully in the future. But master won't be able to protect you forever, understood? Xuanji sect, heed my command." With that the other disciples all knelt on the floor to listen to his commands. From this day forth, all disciples of my sect must calm their hearts and focus on honing their skills. During my 100 years of seclusion, restore the sect to its former glory. Indeed, returning to the present, the sect seemed to be thriving, which naturally impressed Ye Shen. Oh, in just 100 years, the spiritual vein in the sect's spiritual mountain has been revived. How interesting. I'll go down and take a look. Arriving at the front gate, the people around him seemed to be startled by his appearance and his outfit. Hey, oh heavens, this outfit. Go. Let's go home quickly. With that said, a path opened for him. The guy, still oblivious to everything, was smiling ignorantly, also not noticing the fear in the people around him. Feeling happy, he said to himself, even the market outside the sect is so prosperous. Not bad, not bad. Sure enough, letting my disciples train and gain experience was the right decision. While walking, something caught his attention. Oh, wow. These things are still popular. In his head, he was thinking, in the past, they only sold things like the 1,000 miles killing talisman and body exploding pill. Seems like life is getting better these days. However, looking closely at the figure of the puppet, he suddenly thought, hold on, this wooden puppet. Why does it look so familiar? Of course it does, as it looked exactly like him. However, still oblivious, he turned to ask the stall owner, "Excuse me, your wooden puppet, which great deity is it modeled after?" Fearing to answer the question, the stall owner panicked and suddenly shouted, I run a small business. Please have mercy and let me go. Speaking of which, there's a deity. If you raise your head by 3 inches, it's better if you turn back quickly. Ye Shen could only stand there dumbfounded. However, he still listened to his instructions, lifting his head 3 inches, wanting to see the deity. Before his eyes was a huge statue that looked exactly like him. He then wondered, damn it, what's going on? This statue is dressed just like me. It's too big. Looking at the bottom of the statue, there seemed to be some writing. Wu Yi sect. The words Wu Yi sect truly confused him further, as Wu Yi sect is his own. He then thought to himself, isn't this the Xuanji sect? Wu Yi sect. The lady who claimed to be from the flower group said that she was being hunted down by the Wu Yi sect, right? Could it be? However, before he could realize his thoughts, a shout interrupted. It's him, pointing at our boy. The guy continued to inform the guards. This thief intentionally dressed like the statue of the deity, stealing from stores, spreading false rumors. He is the reason why everyone shut their doors and won't come out. The female guards in black then confronted him. To be so lawless in broad daylight. You dog. You deserve to be executed. Surprised, he could only respond, huh? How is it lawless if I'm wearing my own clothes? Pointing at the statue, he further wanted to ask, what is up with that massive statue over there? Also, my Xuanji, However, before he could finish asking, they were all already in the sky jumping to attack him, take him down. They shouted. Not fully prepared for their impatience, he yelled out, "I haven't finished talking yet." The female guards unleashed their binding attack. The solidified chaotic star, 8 gates golden lock formation. The chains then bound him. However, Ma Dude was still annoyed at the fact that they did not let him finish talking, and so he broke free from the chains that bound him. "Let me finish my words," he uttered. Seeing this, the female guards could not help but be left stunned. "What?" "The golden lock formation Her Majesty bestowed us was broken in an instant. But Her Majesty is the only person who could break this formation." "Don't tell me that he is." With that realization, the girl panicked and turned towards her fellow sisters, who were also now beginning to understand the situation, and with a nod, as if to confirm everything. The scene after that was truly not expected, as the female guards began to undress bit by bit, tearing and pulling all that covered the precious assets. Mesmerized by the scene before him, Yeshen could not help but cover his eyes in embarrassment, although barely covering them. Insignificant trickery," he stuttered. "Save it. Seduction is useless to me." Well, sadly they weren't putting on a show for us, but rather changing their dark black clothes, adding some white to it. They then polluted out some confetti, as if to celebrate his return. Bowing respectfully, they all shouted a huge welcome to Yeshen, welcoming him to his Wu Yi sect. "Welcome to the Wu Yi sect, Yeshen." "Oh," he replied back. However, the female guards did not give him too much time to think, as in the next second, one of them was pushing him forward while also clarifying, "You must be the creator of the golden lock formation, Venerable Yeshen." "Oh, yes. But we have to trouble you to follow us to the stargazing tower. Her Majesty is waiting for you." Still surprised by everything, he asked, "Her Majesty? Who? Waiting for me? What in the world do you mean?" "It's exactly as I said. Please don't worry. Once you reach there you'll understand everything." In the next second, Ma Dude was in front of the stargazing tower main hall. A female voice then cut through the silence, asking, "Was it you who broke the golden lock formation?" "That's right. I am the Xuanji sect's leader, Yeshen. I'm here to inquire why my sect." However, before he could finish, the figure behind Ran then jumped, wanting to embarrass our boy. It turned out it was the now grown-up demon Empress. Her eyes became teary, and she could not help but speak her feelings. "After 100 years, I'm finally able to see you. Master, Yaner misses you so much." Hearing her say that, he was truly surprised, as the last time he saw her, she was just a silly little girl that only knew how to cry. Luan Yaner, he wondered, as she was embracing him. Yeshen, on the other hand, still hadn't had time to process what was going on the whole day. "Wait a second, why you let go of me first?" he said. However, it seemed those words triggered her, as she denied. "That won't do," she responded silently. "I waited so painfully for your return." As she was saying that, it could be seen that her head was not okay, as she was making seductive expressions all that time, as if she was about to go crazy. "This time, no matter what you say, I will never let you go again. Even in death, we shall be buried together." In the next scene, it could be seen that my thirsty little disciple was pinning me down. "Oh, master," she said seductively. Still worried about her words, I asked, "What's with the matter of dying? Don't talk nonsense. Get off me first." Without listening, she continued with her own actions, caressing the master's bare chest. "It's already this time. Are you still pretending to be ignorant? How unthoughtful," she said, and continuing with her seductive actions, she gently bit his ear while also telling him that it was fine, as the more he behaves like this, the happier Yaner will be. Wanting to restrain him more, she executed her technique, the dance of spiraling sky extreme, broken gate of 9 twirls. Seeing this, Yeshen thought to himself, "This is the broken gate of 9 twirls. Before I went into seclusion, it was the last move taught to Yaner." Is she really Yaner? "Master, in all these years, Yaner has finally mastered all the spells you taught. I, your disciple, am just sincerely following your teachings, working hard to make progress, just for this day when we meet again." Pulling him closer, she continued, "Starting from today, you and I can be together through life and death. However, before that." She then pulled out a short golden knife, and started licking it. Coming closer, she continued in a threatening tone, "Master, you must give Yaner a small promise." "I'm well aware, master. Although you are excellent at everything, your body is not indestructible. If I cut off these legs, you won't be able to go anywhere. Don't be afraid. It will only hurt for a second. After that will be eternal happiness." With that said, she then raised the short knife in the air, aiming to strike his leg, and upon impact it could be seen that he was not affected at all, which naturally stunned the disciple. "Hey, what's happening? It can't be chopped off." "Impossible." Trying to convince herself, she kind of laughed nervously. "Ha ha ha. I'll do it seriously this time. In her head she thought, this is a sharp blade made of meteorite. I must be not used enough force. After some silence and tolerance of her actions, Ye Shen finally spoke up. This attitude of never giving up until the goal is achieved is indeed Yaner's style. My disciple is so diligent. How can I not make progress as your master? With that said, he broke out of her bondages with a powerful attack, blasting her backwards with the destruction-style running web. Trying to look cool after his attack, he continued to say that even after 100 years, a master is still a master, and in his heart, Yaner will always be his lovely disciple. As he said that, he looked at his disciple appearance, and he instantly became petrified, because the scene before him was not for the weak-hearted. Luan Yaner's clothes were all half-torn, creating a very erotic atmosphere, and with a pitiful look she wondered if his master really thought that way. Her words and actions even made him have a nosebleed, calling her a thief. As for his attack, the destruction style is too powerful, since it literally shredded her clothes. And as always he covered his face while literally still able to see everything, replying, really, master hasn't changed. Go and change into clean clothes. Covering herself to change, she spoke back, big liar, master is just saying that after 100 years, the heart has not changed. But you didn't mention a word about the promise between you and me. You obviously forgot all about it. A promise? He asked himself. He then thought back to the past, as we could see the young Luan Yaner crying, calling his master a liar, as he clearly said that the formation wouldn't break apart. But Yaner was still injured. Running to hug him, she continued, Yaner's face is bruised. I won't be able to get married. Trying to comfort her, he asked, who said that? And with a warm smile he told her that in this world, strength is beauty. Yaner defeated the black bear demon at such a young age. How could she not be beautiful? Jiuten Zuanu wasn't troubled by marriage. Master wants to be with Yaner forever. TL. Jiuten Zuanu is a goddess of war, with the head of a woman and the body of a bird in Chinese mythology. Moved by his words, she repeated what she heard, also blushing slightly. Master wants to be with Yaner forever. Making a pinky promise with her, he continued, indeed. When has the master ever lied to Yaner? It's agreed then. Yaner and master, along with everyone from our sect, however, he said that last part in a very low voice, will always be together? Returning to the present, he hugged her tightly as if he remembered. Yaner has also not changed. It was master who came too late. Hearing his sweet words, she could only cry a little in his arms. Master, why did you only come back now? The scene then shifts to some time later as he was briefed about the changing of the sex name. No wonder. So that's why you changed the sex name. It was to avoid being hunted by the remnants of evil. You worked really hard. As long as master can come back. These are all trivial matters. Blushing, she then asked, by the way, now that you are back, does the promise between you and Yaner still exist? Not knowing that he has caused a big misunderstanding, he thought to himself. Ah, it was the promise made at that time, to be with everyone from our sect forever. Yaner is such a good child. He smiled ignorantly, then continued, don't worry, master will not break his promise. Overwhelmed by his response, she thought to herself, master actually agreed to be with me forever. Isn't this a promise of marriage? Still oblivious to her thoughts, Ye Shen continued, since we kept our promise, the most important thing is. However, before he could finish, she interrupted him. Yes, don't worry, master. I will immediately ask someone to choose an auspicious day. In her head she was thinking about engagement and marriage. Choose a day, he thought to himself. I suppose that's right. A good day should be chosen for Evrion's gathering. He then spoke out. Okay, do that, Yaner. In the next second, a disciple came to make a report. Your Majesty, the Fenghua team has reported. The Heavenly Book has awakened. All the major sects have joined forces to head to Tianchu City. Tianchu, could it be? Humph. Those little thieves. Ye Shen then thought, before I went into seclusion, I forgot to take it. However, Luan Yaner interrupted his thoughts by shouting, the Heavenly Book belongs to my sect. Now that Ye Shen has returned to his throne, the Heavenly Book will naturally respond. Come forth. Bring the book to the mainland. I will get the Heavenly Book in person. Hold on. He yelled out, and with a guilty face he said that he will get it himself. The scene then shifts to Tianchu City. The streets were bustling as a voice also echoed, extra. Turns out it was a kid selling the latest news. The 3-year period has arrived. The battle for the ownership of the Heavenly Book begins once again. The Ting Chao sect declared they would participate and emerge victorious. Can the century-old battle for the ownership of the Heavenly Book come to an end today? Approaching Ye Shen, he called out, Sir Cultivator, do you need a copy of the Tianchu news? No, thanks. He then sighed and thought, Tianchu City. It used to be a city of forest 100 years ago. This place had changed too much. It was practically a ghost town before. I can't find my way around here at all, he complained. However, in his pocket was a paper crane that was used for guiding. The voice of Luan Yaner could be heard from the paper crane as it explained. With little Yaner in charge, you won't have any trouble navigating around the mainland. Please turn right at the intersection. Yeshen, on the other hand, was relieved, thinking, fortunately, Yaner made this paper spirit to guide me. Yaner, you said an attendant would hand it over to me, but I'm here to take back my own property, so I shouldn't need an attendant to hand it to me, right? Okay? Answering Master's question about the attendant, Yaner then began explaining to him. During your seclusion, the heavenly book was temporarily stored in this city, causing constant disputes among various families. At that time, the Xuanji sect was weak and unable to recover the heavenly book. Yaner took advantage of that and advertised the wonders of the heavenly book to the world, causing cultivators all over the world to fight a bloody battle over it. By doing that, not only were the various factions in the world distracted from targeting our sect, but the evil parties that fought over the heavenly book were also recorded, so that's how it was. He then thought, using my property as bait. I see. Such a carefully thought-out plan. Yaner has really grown up. Jumping up the paper crane then informed him, you have arrived at your destination. Your attendant is just in front of you. You have one message. Yaner has something else to tell me. Master doesn't need to worry too much. This attendant is a secret agent from the Xuanji sect's period. Our sect's contact code has not changed, so rest assured. Thank you for your cautiousness. You've done well, replied Yeshen. However, she was not done, and continued with a threatening tone. Additionally, after you take back the heavenly book, you must return immediately. Do you understand? There's more. You must not even glance at other girls while you're outside. Oh. The moment I think of this, I can't help but be furious. While saying that, the paper crane caught fire and disappeared. Stunned by her words, he could only wonder. Hey, Yaner, honestly, this little child overthinks everything. How could Master have any room left in his heart to do that? Looking to his side, he saw someone who caught his attention. The particular person was a busty female fortune teller, who seemed to be inhaling some noodles. Oh, it must be that person. That person is my attendant, he thought to himself. Approaching the lady, he called for her attention. Excuse me, may I ask for your name? Looking up at his figure, she thought, oh, it's the great master. Thinking he was a customer, she placed her noodles on the table, and jumped up to introduce herself, and truly we saw her clearly in full view, hiding her soft monster with bandages. My surname is Xiao. I am Xiao Chiao. People call me Little Yanton. I am not very talented, but I have some knowledge of the art of deduction, whether it's seeking marriage or divination for the future. You ask, I answer. Standing close, she silently said she could also help find lost items like mistaken romantic debt, she whispered, not knowing she has caused a huge misunderstanding. Yeshen on the other side was obliviously thinking, finding lost items. She must be talking about the heavenly book. She is the attendant that Yaner appointed. No mistaking it. But just in case, I should still say the code with that. He whispered a word code to her. The king of heaven overpowers the tiger of earth. Hearing his words, she nervously responded. Ah, why you? Are you ducking 250? Okay? It's a match, he said inwardly. However, the fortune teller lady shooed him away. Go. Don't interfere with my business. She also thought, alas, he's just a fool. His good looks are in vain. Surprised at first by her ignoring the secret code, he calmed down and thought, the code really is professional. Retreating in order to advance, testing me again and again. He then continued, the secret code. If we were not family, we wouldn't live under the same roof. You don't need to worry too much. Not understanding his words, she became infuriated and slammed her fist on the table. How? Who is part of your family, and who are you calling an idiot? If you're not right in the head, then see a doctor. Don't. However, before she could finish her words, he held her shoulder, and with a little force, sat her down back on her chair and uttered, I really am looking for a lost item, meaning the heavenly book. On the other hand, however, after touching her, the female fortune teller felt a huge surge amount of energy penetrating her, giving her the feeling of her clothes being all torn up. This feeling is, my body feels on fire. It feels like thick honey is inside. The moment he touched me, the years of loneliness of my inner elixir, it's so overwhelming, ready to come out. The only one who can make my innate inner elixir react like this. There's no mistake, this person is my destined dual cultivator, she thought to herself. Unaware of her feelings, he worriedly asked, Hey, why do you look so unwell? Did I use too much force? He wondered. I should treat Yaner's people with courtesy. Overwhelmed by his touch and energy, she suddenly grabbed his hand and replied, saying the secret code she heard from him. Yes. The king of heaven overpowers the tiger of earth. I am the idiot. I've been waiting for you for a long time. A lost item, was it? I'll take you to it. In her head, however, she was thinking about how she can't let him go, and then led the way for him. Let's not delay. Please follow me, lead the way. Nearby, however, was the real attendant who was supposed to meet with, as he then wondered, didn't the Empress secretly command me to be here to assist the person from her palace? Where is he? Seconds later, the scene shifted to the Tianchu conference, at an arena where the battle for the ages will occur. The crowd was also causing a commotion. Oh shit! Ting Chu sect leader, Wei Tianheng. His strength cannot be underestimated. Could it be that the heavenly book will be taken by him? It's hard to say. Arriving at the arena, Ye Shen worriedly asked, "Why are there so many people here?" "That's normal. Look, what you wanted to find is up on that stage, right? Sir Cultivator, I see that you are quite powerful. You must be here for the heavenly book as well." Above the stage was a wooden box that had the book that everyone was fighting for, with two men in particular, who seemed to be the most powerful. She then continued, "It's rumored that whoever obtains the heavenly book obtains the mainland. Daring young men, who doesn't want to be a hero. But if you want to awaken the book, other than having good luck, you must also be recognized by the Lord of Tianshu City. This is the reason for the constant fighting on stage. But in my opinion, you are no worse than the sect leader of the Ting Chao sect. If you want to obtain the heavenly book, one can help you, as long as you dual cultivate." However, before she could finish her lustful ideas, she realized that the person she thought she was talking to was not even present next to her. "Hey, where did he go?" Someone next to her then shouted. "Hey, did something fly up there?" "Ahead. Look ahead." Turns out the one who was causing a commotion was our boy Ye Shen, who was walking up the stage. And seeing him go up, the crowd got riled up. Someone went up there. Even the fortune teller Xiao Chiao shouted in panic, "What are you doing?" Right now, whether it's Wei Tianheng or City Lord Zhang Zisheng, you can't afford to offend any of them. Ma Dude, however, just strode in there like it was his own backyard, and headed straight to the heavenly book. Seeing him, the two big shots panicked, and one of them, who was hot-headed, immediately rushed towards him. Feeling the killing intent behind him, Ye Shen thought to himself, "I should take the book and leave before things get messy." The hot-headed man Wei Tianheng shouted, "You shameless brat! You want to take advantage of the fight and steal my treasure." At this point the rage could be seen in his eyes, as they glowing red, veins popping out. "I will kill you." Watching this, the female fortune teller screamed in fright. Oh no! A story was then told, dating back to 100 years ago, after the fall of Xuanji sect. A civil war broke out in the Canyuan continent, but the Ting Chao sect, which was originally weak, suddenly had a genius appearing out of nowhere. He mastered various skills and martial arts, and stood unmatched in the world, and this genius was none other than Wei Tianheng. Returning to the present, the dude was throwing a powerful punch. Worried, the girl could only cry out for him to get out of the way. It was too late, however, as the attack landed, creating a loud boom. Feeling the power behind the attack too strong, some commented, "Damn, the fifth style of the punch of disintegration. Wei Tianheng must be really furious. That brat is too cocky. TSK. He's killing a chicken to scare the monkeys. Don't you understand? TL. Killing a chicken to scare the monkeys means making an example out of someone in order to threaten others. Wei Tianheng is so powerful. Who dares go on stage and fight for the heavenly book?" In her head, the fortune teller girl thought to herself that the situation is really troublesome. Wanting to act on her thoughts, she still reinforced her decision, saying, "How Wei Tianheng is extremely narrow-minded, so Ye Shen is really unlucky, as he won't be let off easily now. I should hurry and save him." Returning to the fight, could be seen that our boy Ye Shen was not even affected by the attack, as he appeared from the smoke, which naturally shocked the guy Wei Tianheng. "Oh, is this way of greeting someone trending right now?" Regaining his thoughts, Wei Tianheng thought, "How could he block my punch? Where did he even come from?" "Well, from the back," the city lord snorted. "Humph, Wei Tianheng, don't blame me for not reminding you. What kind of cultivator would come unprepared to fight for the heavenly book? I advise you to go all out, or else you'll be in trouble." "Huh? You want me to go all out?" Charging up his attack, he aggressively shouted. "The only thing that I fear is the underworld not wanting to accept his soul." In the next second, he let out a barrage of punches. Punch of disintegration. Second style astral chaos barrage. However, every single punch was dodged smoothly. Haha, not bad. You can even combat the second style of my punch of disintegration, youngster. You really have potential. Let me tell you another good thing. With that, he did the unexpected and used a powerful kick, also not forgetting to explain, "The punch of disintegration I've created is not just performed by my fist." Seeing this, the crowd was even more riled up. What Wei Tianheng advanced his punch of disintegration again. He only had fist techniques before. It is said that 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. But I never thought that he would use his legs as fists. While in the sky, Ye Shen was thinking. That's right. The Tianchu conference was originally a place similar to a martial arts conference. Would it be better if I also go with the trends and follow the process of martial artists before taking the heavenly book? It's not bad to improve the image of my country. Looking forward, you could see Wei Tianheng did not want to give him a chance to breathe, as he was already launching an attack, puffing up his cheeks, well-mouthed cheeks. Just for confirmation, the attack successfully landed, which pushed him down to the stage. However, Ye Shen took the blow like a simple pat in the head, as he easily landed on the stage. However, half of his legs were stuck in the concrete floor because of the force. Aha! TSK, that was a close call. My shoes aren't scratched, right? Before he could wonder any further, Wei Tianheng shouted, I'm not done yet. Punch of disintegration, second style extreme, 1 punch neck strike. The technique required him to use his thumb, and struck him on the back of his head, making the floor collapse. Wanting to finish him off some more, he raised his leg up, saying, since you still dare to stand on the stage, allow me to perform one more style for you, and send you to your death. His kicking technique, the punch of disintegration, first style never-ending stream. After his final blow, he stepped back to witness his artistry, causing him to laugh with joy, thinking he had won. Haha, success. No one will disturb me anymore. Let's resume our discussion on the heavenly book. As long as you nod, my Ting Chao sect. However, before he could finish, the city lord warned him. Old Wei behind you, and behind him was Ye Shen, who was throwing a punch, then suddenly changed it to a flick, flicking him in the forehead. The flick was so powerful that Ma Dude's face changed into something truly unforgivable, which somehow blasted him back, merging him with the mountain. Smiling, Ye Shen said, thanks for the guidance. The heavenly book is mine now. Witnessing what happened, the crowd was amazed. What happened? Just a flick of his to the forehead, and Wei Tianheng was beaten to a pulp. Just who is this person? Does anyone know? He deserves recognition for winning the heavenly book. The defeated Wei Tianheng, on the other hand, seemed to be calling for someone. Zhang Zixing. He then stood up and shouted, Zhang Zixing, how long are you just going to stand there? Don't forget the thing that you wanted. Only with the Ting Chao sect can you. Before he could finish, Zhang Zixing snorted as if looking down on him. Hey, is old Wei admitting that his skills aren't good enough? Is it too hard? Hearing those words, it's as if it triggered something deep inside him. He then had a flashback to the days when he used to get bullied and looked down upon, as everyone told him that he was not good enough. Not good enough. Wei Tianheng, do you still not understand? It's because your skills aren't good enough that your loved ones were killed. Returning back, his eyes were bloodshot red, filled with anger and resentment. He was also clenching his teeth down hard, spitting out fresh blood. He then resorted to his final attack, the Murkia Pearl. Swallow. With that he unleashed a tremendous amount of power that even reached the heavens. The one that's not good enough is you, he shouted. The energy he unleashed caused a commotion in the sky and clouds, catching everyone's attention. Is it going to rain? What a shame. I still want to see the heavenly book. Zhang Zixing, on the other hand, was panicking as he shouted at him. Wei Tianheng, are you insane? Fearing the worst, Ma Dude used his internal energy protection. The crowd was still confused about everything, as they questioned. Hey, look, Zhang Zixing is also using his technique. He insists on joining the battle, okay? The Tianchu conference this year really is interesting. Zhang Zixing then thought to himself, seems like it's too late, these idiots. From the cods up above, balls of glowing energy descended down slowly, which amazed everyone. What are these? So pretty. One ball even landed on one of the girl's chest, which amazed her. It fell in. However, in the next second, the ball glowed brightly, as if to explode, and it indeed did, as all the balls that descended exploded one by one. Run! They shouted in fear, and while they were all running, they wondered, what's happening? They're exploding. Oh. The female fortune teller was also scared of what was happening. My God. Wei Tianheng, that old guy. He actually catalyzed the murky pearls and triggered thunder. After just half an hour, an area of 100 miles can be completely scorched. That brat, he is completely doomed. Changing scenes to Ye Shen, who had some blood stains from the fight, thought out loud. Thunder. He then pushed aside the thunder like it was nothing. This is a bit troublesome. Looking at the city lord next to him, he continued to ask, don't you think so too? The city lord, however, was stunned by his actions, thinking to himself, what do you mean? Don't you think so too? This is the type of thunder That is enough to peel off your skin just from one touch, but this brat just gently flicked away the thunder. Back to Ye Shen, who was worried. Oh no, my sleeve was burned. That's all. It's not too big of a problem. Looking above at the chaotic scene, he thought about how to eradicate the source. What a great opportunity to try out my physical body. As he was preparing to attack the thunder, huge soft objects rushed towards him, and those soft objects belonged to the female fortune teller, who came rushing in to embrace Ye Shen as if trying to rescue the beauty. No, you can't just die like this, she yelled out. Are you alright? Why are you trying to play hero? You still need me to rescue you in the end. Being suffocated by the soft pillows, he could only utter small phrases. No, that's not. Meanwhile, our boy was thinking to himself, what kind of rescuing is this? Before we could witness anything more, a flashback of the busty female fortune teller was shown, as she was kneeling down before a statue. The statue with a powerful voice uttered, "Xiao Qiao Qiao, your time is up. If you still don't act, you should know the consequence." Back to the present, Xiao Kaiqiao thought to herself, there's no time. If I miss out on this opportunity, I might not have another chance to succeed. With that, she whipped out a talisman, and threw it to Ye Shen's forehead, instructing, don't move. This teleportation talisman can only be used once, and I only have 3 left. Placing one on her forehead, she continued, no matter how great the heavenly book is it really worth your life, you idiot? Let's, however, before she could finish, the lightning struck down with tremendous speed, catching her off guard. Oh no. Closing her eyes, she lamented, the talisman has been burnt, I can't leave. Seeing her demise, Ye Shen rushed in to save her. Holding her firmly, he told her that she was the idiot. The lightning then struck both of them, smoke enveloping them. The surrounding people screamed in pain. Ah, my leg, ah, I can't run away. Someone, save me. Looking down at the destruction he caused, Wei Tianheng felt delighted and could not help but celebrate, laughing maniacally. Haha, success, I've succeeded. I can control the heavens. The heavenly book is mine. The ones who are inferior are you people. Before he could finish his victory speech, a small piece of stone hit his head, pow, which naturally made him look disdainfully at the one who threw it, and from the smoke a voice resounded. The Ting Chao sect really is powerful. Being able to summon thunder truly isn't something any ordinary person can do. But, is this? Can you hear all the other cries within the thunder? From the background it could be heard that the people struck by the lightning were all in pain. Boo, who saved me? It hurts so much. Ye Shen then continued, you're treating other people's lives as nothing just for the heavenly book. Is it worth it not wanting to be scolded? Wei Tianheng snorted. TSK. With that he made hand gestures to conjure more strength, and said, the winner is the king and the loser is the bandit. I have no regrets. Punch of disintegration. Style 0 thunder control. However, before he unleashed his move, our boy Ye Shen was not gonna let him cook, but got cooked instead with a punch on his loud mouth, almost snapping his head off. He then followed up with another punch. Okay, then I have the final say here. And out of nowhere he raised his hand up, summoning the heavenly book. He declared how the heavenly book was originally his property. With his touch the heavenly book began to shine brightly, bathing everyone with a golden light. The book then transformed into a scroll. Within the scroll, a small little spirit greeted him lovingly as he positively responded back. Long time no see, old friend. Come and lend me a helping hand. With that he executed the heavenly canvas deception, life and death amnesia. From the scroll appeared green, colored lights of energy that descended upon the injured people below, who were stunned upon witnessing the miracle before their eyes. Huh, did the thunder stop? Something is falling down. In the next seconds, the green lights began healing all their injuries, to everyone's delight, and they all could not help but exclaim with joy, my mom woke up. My leg is healed. The city lord was also speechless at this point. From above Ye Shen spoke out. This is a blessing given by the heavenly book. Wei Tianheng has really lost the youngster who took the heavenly book. Who is he? They all wondered. Flying down, the sight of the busty Xiao Qiao Qiao lying passed out while her soft monsters were on show caught his attention. How this woman? Why hasn't she woken up? That's not right. Could it be that she has no heartbeat anymore? Leaning down to try and help, he could not help but be amazed by the sight of her huge soft monsters. Then again, so big, cough. Now's not the time to think about these things. Saving people comes first. This is one of Yaner's people. Excuse me, Akem. I remember the heart is on the left side. Touching the big soft heart, he really thought, huh? She really has no heartbeat. Turns out she was just faking it, as in her head she was correcting him, thinking my heart is on the right side. Oh God, this is too embarrassing. I went on stage and exclaimed that I would save him, but the one who was saved was me. I'm too embarrassed to be awake. Picking her up he spoke. This isn't good. I should first find a secluded place to take a closer look. Inwardly the girl was worried about hearing that. What? A secluded place? Then we can dual cultivate while we're at it, right? It's a win-win. From the back, it could be seen that the city lord wanted to say something to him, thinking, I never thought that it would be a youngster who would end up getting the heavenly book. Father, you, finally he shouted. Sir Cultivator, please. However, someone that looked like him interrupted. City lord, weren't you supposed to attend to the Empress people for me? Why are you only showing up now? Ripping off the mask, the double added. I was just about to tell you this. He then informed him silently in a whisper. Hearing everything, he finally shouted to Ye Shen to stop him. Nobleman, please halt. After a tiring chase he caught up to Ye Shen. Are you above the 9 heavens and 10 abysses, invincible as a thunderbolt? The one who spans the 4 seas and sweeps across the 8 wastelands. The Wui Demon Supreme. Still not used to the title, Ma Dude was stunned. How? You have the wrong person. Don't worry, my lips are sealed. No, you. Suddenly the city lord knelt down and informed him. I have respected your name, senior. I am your junior, Zhang Zisheng, the son of Zhang Kong. Hearing the name, it seemed it caught Ye Shen's attention. The girl also wondered what was going on. Shifting to a few minutes later at Zhang Mansion courtyard, someone seemed to be leading another. Mr. Huchen is here. Please follow me this way. The old man then asked, how is the condition of the injured person now? The little girl who was leading the way for him then responded, I'm ashamed to say this, but the doctors have already tried everything they can, but she still hasn't woken up. Stroking his beard, the old man wondered once more. I heard that this female cultivator is a companion of the owner of the heavenly book. That's right. At the conference, she protected the owner of the heavenly book with her life. That's how she got seriously injured by the Ting Chao sect. Our master is very anxious. He is in the parlor awaiting your good news. Please come inside and take a look. Upon entering the room, the patient could not be seen, which naturally stunned the people. How? Where'd she go? Turns out the runaway patient was our busty fortune teller Xiao, who was panting heavily at the moment, hiding from the little girl and the old doctor, who were panicking. Sir, please wait. I'll go find her. Still hiding, Xiao thought out loud. Damn, he even asked for Mr. Huchen to come. Zhang Zicheng is truly being excessive. Thankfully, I ran away fast enough, otherwise I would have been exposed, she whispered, then continued with her inner monologue. I thought that if I pretended to be unconscious, that brat would take care of me himself. That way, I could naturally get more information. But he just turned around and left with Zhang Zicheng. I really don't understand. Love the fragrance and cherish the jade. TL. This idiom means a guy should treat a lady tenderly and with care. Pulling out her trusty talisman out of her soft pillows, she continued. I see. Plotting behind my back, are you? I won't allow you to do as you wish. With that she activated her tracking technique and followed the talisman, which stopped at a certain door. Oh, and as it has done its job, it burned up into flames. Here it is. There's nothing my talismans can't do. As long as I've stuck one on you before, I'll be able to find you no matter where you run. Leaning against the door, she whispered, let me listen in. What are you guys talking about? Akem. Why is it so silent? Are they guarded even against the nobles? TSK. After licking her finger, she pierced through the door, attempting to look inside her thoughts, then continued, if you won't let me listen in, then I'll have no choice but to. I'll see for myself what you guys are. However, before she could finish that thought, the picture inside deeply shocked her. What? Inside we could see that our boy Ye Shen was somehow touching the city lord's chest, which began to cause a huge misunderstanding. Upon closer look though, Ye Shen was touching a certain mark on his chest, thinking the aura of this mark. There's no doubt about it. He really is the son of Zhang Kong. The city lord then spoke out. This mark was imprinted on me, as a form of my father's teachings, and is a symbol of the Zhang family's inheritance. Senior, do you believe me now? Sighing, Ye Shen replied, I can still vividly remember when your father went to war with me. In just the blink of an eye, you have grown so much. Tell me what troubles you. City Lord Zhang then told a story. I am frightened. There's something you don't know. 40 years ago, when my father was dying, he called me to his bedside, and wanted to pass on the position of City Lord to me. At that time, besides me and my father, there was another person in the room, the Poison Supreme. The certain Poison Supreme was a person with a small figure, wearing a cloak. The Poison Supreme then informed him while he was kneeling down, you're the next City Lord, you look like someone with longevity. I wouldn't dare, he replied, and continued, Tianchu City was built by you. I am but a son taking the place of his father, and acting as the City Lord. Such obedience. No wonder Zhang Kong was so fond of you. Let's keep this short, then. In addition to taking care of the heavenly book, I also want you to pass on a message for me. Shifting slightly, we could almost see the face of the Poison Supreme, who seemed young and had purple hair. She then continued, when the heavenly book recognizes its master, please tell the owner of the book to bring the book and quickly come to Feudy Cave. My dear master. However, while doing her impression, the city lord continued, you have to keep it a secret from senior sister. TL. The senior sister here is referring to Yaner. He then made kissing sounds, choo-choo. Naturally the scene was disgusting. Feeling super uncomfortable, Yeshen tried to confirm. The Poison Supreme you're talking about, could it be? That's right. She is your third disciple, Luin. The Poison Supreme has occupied the southern part of the mainland and has long been an overlord of the world. Hearing that, Yeshen confirmed his thoughts. I knew it. My promising disciples really are outdoing each other. Even the third, with the lowest talent, has become a big shot. But, then again, Fusion Cave. TL, Feudy Cave, and Fusion Cave are referring to the same place as an idiom. Both mean a place where gods live or a place for cultivation. Wasn't that the barren mountain, where I grew elixirs with my third disciple, and she wants me to go without Yaner finding out? Why do I have to keep this a secret? He thought secretly. The city lord then knelt down and called for his attention. Senior. Seeing that, Yeshen became curious. Little Zhang, what are you doing? Still kneeling down, he said. Originally, the position of city lord wouldn't have been passed on to me so early. After all, it was my father's lifelong wish to welcome the owner of the heavenly book in person. He cultivated hard every day, but I never thought that he'd overdo it one day. At this point he was crying, continuing, I know I shouldn't bother my senior with such trivial matters, but I beg you, please help. Without saying much, he patted his head and continued, Little Zhang, your father and I have a lifelong friendship. How could I just ignore that? Where is he now? No. My father is currently in a deep sleep. In the Kunlun Mountains. It's far away. TL. Kunlun Mountain is one of the longest mountains in Asia. Please go to the place the Poison Supreme mentioned first. You truly are. Xiao Qiao on the other hand was truly going crazy. Thinking Yeshen was a pervert, she also thought to herself, I misunderstood. It was a lie that Zhang Zisheng needed to talk to him in secret. It was just an excuse for them to engage in homosexual activities. I completely misunderstood him. That's why they needed me out of the way, so they could have a private meeting here. You can't blame her though, as from her perspective it seemed that Yeshen was getting his little Shen blown off. Feeling dejected, she spoke out. I have waited so long for this great opportunity. Are you kidding me? Barging in the door, she still shouted. Are you kidding me? With her noisy entrance, both of them turned immediately towards her direction. Still thinking about the worst, she yelled out, who the fuck wants to share with a man? Don't even think about it. With that she used her trusty talisman, and used it on our boy Yeshen, creating a loud bang. Still in hero pose after the smoke faded, she smiled slyly with delight. No matter how powerful you are, if you take even a small whiff of my specially crafted sleeping pill, you won't be able to do anything but fall to the floor and leave yourself vulnerable. At this point Xiao was feeling unhinged, and with a cunning smile continued to say, such a high-quality masculine man. Of course, I should have it all to myself. Hey. On the side, the heavenly book, or scroll, was rolling on the floor and suddenly opened, which immediately caught all her attention, as it was glowing brightly. Hey. Suddenly from the scroll appeared seductive looking women who all rushed towards her, as if to enchant her. AQUUUUH. She panicked. As they bound her tightly, she kept thinking, this. Something like this is in the heavenly book. The book is tying me up. I can't breathe. Suddenly beams of light emitted from the book in a circular motion. The color. Looking closely at it, her eyes lost focus and started being entranced. What is happening? With the scroll done with its job, the glowing stopped, and Xiao slammed down on top of our boy, and she started acting super weird, as if possessed, although she was always thirsty. This time her actions were truly super seductive. Seconds later Yeshen seemed to regain consciousness. I'm dizzy. Is this smell? An alcoholic elixir. Slowly opening his eyes, two huge soft pillows greeted him with a smile. As they slowly caressed his face, he then wondered, why does it also have a bit of a slippery and soft feel? Wait, texture. With that he hastily opened his eyes, and the sight before him was truly shocking as the girl was hanging over her, looking rather hungry and thirsty for some human soup. Surprised, he wondered, what are you doing this? Still looking at her seductive look, he still thought, what is going on? Pushing her back, he immediately exclaimed, don't come any closer. Wanting to understand better, he thought, calm down and remember. Thinking back to the moment he passed out, he said, before I passed out, I remember that she broke in and said some random things. There was nothing out of the ordinary at that time, so something must be happened later. Returning back, the girl clinged to her further, which stunned him. Why is she pushing against me again? Suddenly she grabbed his neck, and started acting weird, not forgetting to also gently kiss his neck as all this was happening. Ma Dud's mind was racing, wondering, is she smelling me? While sniffing at him seductively, he jumped in fright and embarrassment, mumbling incoherent words, and finally he shouted, "Stop!" Pinching her cheeks, he still continued, "Stop it." However, the possessed girl didn't care one bit as she suddenly grabbed his hand, then slowly sucked on his finger. While doing that, as he looked her in the eyes, Ma Dude suddenly wondered, does she want me to touch her? Finally figuring out something, he wondered, could it be? Looking at the scroll book next to him, he confirmed his speculation. No wonder. The book is open. Placing his finger in front of her, he instructed, "Behave," as if she was a dog, and it was with purpose. As she again jumped at him, with her tongue hanging internally, he thought, the worst case scenario is happening. Actually, Ye Shen privately referred to the heavenly book as the little dirty book. Many years of Ye Shen's treasures are inside. In order to not be found out, Ye Shen added a prohibition to the heavenly book, called, "Do not indulge." All people except Ye Shen would be brainwashed even with one glance at the heavenly book into becoming dogs. At this point she was even barking woof. Ye Shen continued thinking, how could it be seen by this woman, and she just so happens to be one of Yaner's people? Coughing slightly, he said out loud, "I can't just sit back and do nothing, can I?" Sighing, he thought how troublesome his situation was, and with a slap on her back he yelled, "Get out!" Feeling the slap, she could only bark seductively. "Woof, woof. You're lucky that I'm the person you came across," he said, and rubbing her back he still continued, the prohibition, "Do not indulge, takes the soul of a dog man, merges it into a human soul. If you try to use ordinary magic to forcefully break the spell, it would only hurt your soul, and turn you into an idiot." With that he unleashed the final blow, causing her to bark even louder. Woof. Grabbing the spirit that possessed her, he uttered, "Only by removing the dog's soul separately can you safely return to normal." Feeling the extreme pain, she barked more. Woof. Woof then suddenly passed out as she laid down sprawled on the floor with green energy surrounding her. He sighed in relief. "Few success. No one else sleeps like this. Since you've suffered a lot, let the heavenly book bless you with good dreams. After you wake up, the curse should be completely broken. On account of me helping her once she wakes up, she should keep my secret, right? The contents of the heavenly book, keep it a secret." He then thought about the time Zhang Zisheng was impersonating his disciple, the Poison Supreme, who said the book must be brought to the Futy Cave. "I should make a trip to Fusion Cave. That'd be for the better. I should leave quickly while these two are still asleep. It'll save me the trouble of explaining." As he tried to leave, the unconscious girl grabbed his clothes. He then wondered, is she awake? However, the girl was sleep-talking, as she uttered, "Master." Hearing that, he hesitated, and the sleeping girl continued, "Please wait. Chow Chow will be good. I will definitely protect you. Can you please enjoy the lanterns with me, Master? Chow Chow doesn't want to be alone." At this point the girl's eyes were watery, causing him to wipe it gently. He then sighed, "I'll wait for her to wake up before leaving. How come I fell asleep? Where is my senior City Lord Zhang? Has been completely forgotten." The scene then shifts to the demon Empress disciple, who was sharply asking, "And then what? Is this the reason why the Supreme wasn't invited back?" Bowing nervously, the subordinate responded. When this humble servant rushed to get there, the Supreme had already left the city. The senior sister next to the demon Empress shouted, "How could he leave without saying goodbye? Could it be that you teamed up with Zhang Zisheng and tricked the Supreme into going somewhere else instead?" Banging her head, she pleaded, "That's not the case." This humble servant heard that there was a female cultivator who risked her life to save the Supreme and fell into a coma. Getting up, the Empress interjected, "Zhang Zicheng, he," as she stretched lightly, showing us a splendid view, continued, "You're saying this just to avoid death. The Supreme is looking for medicine for that female cultivator, and took her away with him. So that's it." Making a menacing smile, the Empress spoke out, "Master is still the same as before, liking pitiful, weak, helpless girls." Feeling her pressure, the female who was next to her knelt in fear. Her Majesty actually smiled. Descending down, she ordered, "Change my clothes. I'll personally go and invite the Supreme back to the city." "Why, Your Majesty, you can't." For saying that, she got a cold glance at herself, making her shiver in fear. Our Empress then continued, "Why not? Right now, are you trying to tell me what to do? This humble servant asks for forgiveness. That's not what this humble servant meant. It's just that, the current situation." Singing at her words, she replied, "I know. The Blood River Elder has already become a strong person in the life and death realm, and has begun recruiting troops in the north. I'm afraid ill intentions against our sect are hidden in his plans. Therefore I cannot leave the city. Making a reluctant face, she ordered, "Come out." The one called out was the General, Zia Chun, a busty female cat beast, who was striding in with great momentum. This general obeys the master. General, please bring the Supreme back in my stead. In addition to that, I want you to spread a message. Don't worry, Your Majesty. The Canyuan continent is just one place. Where can the Supreme go? TL. She means the continent is not so big that she can find the MC. Returning to it could be seen he was speechless because of something, mainly the now conscious Xiao Qiao, who was wondering, "Oh, where am I? What's happening?" It seemed that our boy was using a tool to make himself invisible, also wondering, why is this girl so annoying? In order to get rid of her, I had to use the hiding skill of the heavenly book. But why did she come along anyway? While he was thinking, the girl seemed to sniff out his presence. TSK, that's not right. The smell is still around here. Hearing that, he wondered even more. Wasn't this all over after our separation? Is she still a dog? Nothing I can do about it, she said, and pulling out her trusty talismans, she threw them in the air, while thinking, although the pathfinding talisman is valuable, if it's used on you, it won't be considered a waste. Today I'll find you for sure. Hearing that, Ma Dude could not help but get annoyed, thinking, is it still not over? With that, he revealed to the girl that he was still around by destroying her talismans. However, he was still invisible, and with excitement she turned her head to inquire, "Dear cultivator, so you were indeed here, you." Not seeing him, she became quiet once more, while Ye Shen was thinking, now, you won't be able to find me anymore. Then again, it should be Yaner, who wants her to follow me so closely. But no matter what the reason is, I can't take her to Fusion Cave with me. Forgive me. As he was about to depart, the girl with a somber mood asked, "So, do you hate me?" Hearing that, he hesitated a bit, and the girl continued, "Forgive me. I rashly stepped onto the arena during the Tianshu conference, and caused you a lot of trouble, but I really wanted to save you. No, actually, I wanted to save you even if I died." Her actions truly surprised him, as he could only listen to her heartfelt words. Actually, still a little hesitant to tell her secrets, she gathered the courage and spoke out. "Oh, my time is limited, but I have one long cherished wish I want to fulfill before I die. I've tried many times, and now I'm convinced that you're the only one who can help me. You. It's okay to laugh at me for being worthless or not respecting myself. I will work for nothing. Laugh all you want. Before you nod and agree to help me, I won't give up." Still not hearing a response from him, she became anxious. "Please," she pleaded, and with tears in her eyes screamed from the bottom of her heart, "Please take me with you, and help me. Just treat me like a pitiful dog. I'm willing to do anything." After hearing that, Ma Dude could not help but take a deep sigh, and finally revealed himself. Seeing that, she immediately smiled with joy. He showed up. "That's great." After wiping her tears, continued, "Thank you so much. I promise not to cause you any trouble." "Right. You like dogs, right? No need for the heavenly book. One can pretend." Thinking she convinced him, she became very happy. "That's good. He's happy and willing to help me. That's good. Now, Master can be saved." Suddenly, out of nowhere, a blade knife was plunged right into the middle of her chest, making her very surprised, and later spat out blood. Falling unconscious, she could only utter her words softly. What? Why is it like this?" Seeing her fall out of nowhere, Ma Dude was caught off guard. What happened? Why did this girl start to talk, and then suddenly passed out? From his perspective though, Xiao Qiao was just rolling around the ground as if having a nightmare. Feeling something was wrong, he suddenly turned around, wondering, is there something that is coming this way? Out of nowhere, our great demon Empress appeared in all her glory, and called out to our boy Master. After seeing her, I was truly surprised. "Yaner, Master, why didn't you keep our promise? Didn't you agree that you'd come back immediately once you've retrieved the heavenly book? How could you go back on your word again?" "It's not like that," he replied back. "It's not that I didn't want to go back. It's just." Before he could finish, she continued, "You could have at least written a letter to me. Could it be that, in Master's eyes, I'm not even worth thinking about?" Finally, about to say something, he opened his mouth to speak in a very indifferent tone. "That's right. You're not worth thinking about." With that, he slashed her in half and explained, "Because you're not Yaner." With that slash, the ghost energy vanished into thin air. As expected, it was a temptress. We then get informed about the temptress, a mid-level spirit on the Canyuan continent. They feed on the agitated emotions of cultivators. They often use illusions to disguise themselves as people close to their targets, waiting for the right opportunity to sneak into their minds. They keep up their illusions until their targets are completely sucked dry. That woman most likely fainted due to the temptress tricks. but nighttime is the best opportunity for these temptresses to manipulate their illusions. Why would they show themselves during the day? Also, when in their illusionary state, they usually don't have a physical form. However, it touched me just now. Suddenly something caught his attention. A Xiao Qiao Qiao, who was lying on the floor, was about to be assaulted by multiple ghost hands. Oh no. With that he unleashed his move, the golden light invisibility retreat, to disciple all the ghost energy. Something's not right. I clearly formed a seal to block the temptress, but she looks even more miserable. Could it be that she's close to being completely eroded? We then shift into Xiao Qiao Qiao, who is having nightmares about her past, due to the temptress. In the memory she was seen playing with some stones as a child. Little sheep, bao bao candied haws, bouncing around. Row by row, string by string. Have a taste for a smile on your face. Big brother, big sister, do you want a candied haw? Turns out she was going crazy as she was talking to dead corpses. It's no use, she says. Never mind. After all, I've always been alone. Then unpleasant memories surfaced, with people always trying to harm her. No one will give me any attention. Rather, everyone in the world wishes for me to die. Being hunted, escaping for my life, and being forced to fight back. This cycle continues, day after day. When will these days come to an end? As she stepped outside, a random drunk woman was seen sprawling on the floor, holding a bottle of wine in the rainy weather, also not forgetting to sing loudly. The explainable path is not the only path. Good wine. Seeing the girl walking, the drunk woman called for her. Come, my dear disciple. Damn it, did I forget to kill one? The little Xiao thought to herself. What nonsense are you spouting? I don't understand. Always on guard. The little Xiao Qiao Qiao was seen hiding a small dagger behind her back. The drunk woman then struggled to get up a bit, drunkenly saying, "Shy, stand there and don't move. Allow me, the teacher, to tell you in detail." She then introduced herself. I am the great fortune teller from the Xuanji sect. My Taoist title is Spirit Exorcist. Half a month ago, the heavens sent me a message to travel 100 miles west. By doing so, I would be able to meet my destined disciple, which is you. Smiling Fockley, little Xiao confirmed. I see. Then allow me to call you Master. You're willing to give me anything, right? For example, your life. With that the little girl stabbed the drunk woman, and with hatred in her eyes continued. Master, what crap. I've already met so many people like you. You just want to use the term disciple, and drag me into an elixir shop, then dissect me and dig out my heart, to refine endless amounts of longevity elixirs, just because my innate yin inner Dan is the best furnace. As soon as you cultivators heard that it's possible to refine others' cultivation into elixirs through me, and become immortal by taking them, whether it was etiquette, justice, or the laws of the heavens and the mortals, you threw them all aside. Traumatized by her past encounters, she continued to stab multiple times on the drunk woman, yelling to the top of her lungs, I begged you all. After her senseless multiple stabbing, she finally stopped, breathing heavily. With her eyes losing all hope, she wondered, why can't you just leave me be? As she exhausted all her strength, her body became numb and heavy, causing her fall, and as she was falling she could not help but lament, oh no, I've exhausted my cultivation. My inner Dan is swallowing me up. Could my life be coming to an end? I have no family and no friends. I don't even know the taste of candied haws. Is my life just going to end? Looking at the ominous Buddha statue, she quietly uttered, heavens above. Cough. I've killed countless evildoers in this life. That's true, but I had no choice. If there is a next life, please grant me a normal life. However, before she could fall unconscious, a hand patted her on the shoulder, asking, why wait until your next life? Turns out it was the drunken woman she stabbed multiple times, who rose from the dead. You can just do that in this life, she continued. With her aura glowing green, she healed her while telling her, all Master has to do is transfer her energy to save your life. Don't move around. Witnessing her self-sacrifice, little Xiao was emotional and could not help but cry out loud, which surprised the bleeding woman. Why are you crying? Does it hurt? Still crying? She asked. Oh, can I really continue living? And with a gentle smile, the woman responded, of course. Not only can you live, you can also live well, so, relax. Master will protect you from now on, for eternity. But it was not to be, as her master was seen nailed to the wall, and Xiao Qiao Qiao could only look at her nailed master. Master, don't be afraid. This time it's my turn to save you. All I need to do is find a person with the holy yang body, and perform dual cultivation with him. Then I can return to you all the longevity you've lost. TL Yang from Yin and Yang. Returning to our boy Ye Shen, who was silently witnessing her current state. The temptress is eating her away. She won't be able to hold out much longer. I should take care of this quickly. The temptress in the form of his disciple multiplied itself while not forgetting to tease our MC, also looking rather thirsty. With that all the clones jumped to him, embracing him all over. Dear master, come and have some fun with us. Partly revealing some other soft pillows, it asked. Would you prefer my front, or are you more interested in my backside? I can satisfy you either way. Haha. Thinking it was successful in tempting our boy, the temptress rejoiced internally. Very good. Just continue to drown in my gentle illusion. Finally having enough of all that, Ye Shen demanded scram, which naturally surprised the temptress. With that he blasted away all the fake projections before him, knocking the temptress down. However, the resistance of boy Ye Shen seemed to drive her even more wild as it chuckled. My precious dear master. As he was holding one of her legs, the temptress continued, you're strong, and you're also pretty fast. Are you really that impatient? So, you like playing this game? Yaner is growing fond of you. However, with that she kicked him while not focusing, and continued with her flirtatious words, allow me to teach you something. Women prefer to be dominant. Mind you, she was saying all this while trying to step on him. Just lie there like a good boy. I, who has a physical form, is indestructible and unkillable? Suddenly she reacted violently to something, screaming internally. She wondered, hey, my abdomen is suddenly burning. We haven't even gotten to the main point yet. What's going on? Turns out our boy Ye Shen was holding her foot, which caused her to ask, what are you doing? Suddenly pressing on her foot, he replied, didn't you know about the pleasure point? And as soon as he pressed it, her face switched completely, as now she was filled with mixed emotions containing embarrassment and pleasure. But our boy gave her no rest as he continued, as the name suggests, it's an acupuncture point that can bring about a pleasurable experience. You've clearly already cultivated a physical form, but you have yet to explore it carefully. And no, let go, she tried to protest. It's coming out, right? Your true form. Still pretending, the temptress yelled out, dear master, please let go of me. Let you go. You are a temptress born from people's desires. To fight against you, we must escape from our human desires, and focus on our objectives. Only by giving you even more pleasure will you reveal your true form. If I let you go today, who knows how many victims there will be. Hearing that, she tried to persuade our boy even further. Please look closely, master. I really am Yaner. How could you be so cruel as to make me suffer? Shut up. The word Yaner shouldn't even be allowed to come out of your mouth. The mark on Yaner's forehead. It was left behind after she went through the marrow cleansing of the refining pond for the sake of protecting the sect. She scraped the poison off her bones for a whole month. Even I wouldn't be able to stand it. But Yaner never even shed a single tear. Instead, she felt sorry for her junior sisters. She secretly hid in a dark corner, blaming herself for not living up to expectations. She's so kind and serious, how could she seduce others for her own selfish desires? But you are a pitiful monster. You're just something driven by lust. A pitiful monster, stealing others' memories, trampling on and ridiculing them. Does that make you feel superior? Idiot. With that he unleashed a powerful blast that evaporated the temptress on the spot, transforming it to its original form, that looked rather horrendous, while also lamenting on the physical form I worked so hard to cultivate. Wow. Fearing the worst, the Empress tried to flee. You crazy man, take your stubbornness and be without a partner for the rest of your life. Seeing Xiao still unconscious on the ground, the temptress rejoiced. I still have a chance. This woman is still lost in my illusion. If I can just take over her body, I'll be able to start again. Reaching out to her, she shouted, I don't want to disappear. However, in the next second its physical body was slashed in half by an unknown sword, which caught his attention. A sword. Turns out that the sword belonged to the busty and ripped general. Finally revealing her face, she complained, sir, you really are troublesome to find. Before anything, a brief story flashed by. Legend has it that an immortal exiled to the west of the Canyuan continent created a unique secret technique. Two cultivators swallow a mysterious stone in order to sacrifice their spiritual fetuses to the outside world. With the blessing of the blood-slaying formation, the two spiritual fetuses can freely communicate with each other. They can share not only their cultivation realms, but also their experiences. The exiled immortal called this secret technique Interlude Psychic. Why you are Yaner? Turns out the demon Empress was possessing the general master. So you do still remember Yaner? Worrying a bit, Ye Shen replied. Your spiritual fetus is a crimson product only seen once every 10,000 years. Even if I were burned to ashes, I would still recognize it. Master, why are you backing away? You had so much fun with the temptress. It's understandable that you forgot to return to the city. Of course, you saw all that. From start to finish, clear as day. Yaner knows everything, whether it's master's praises, or that you were finding medicine for that female cultivator. and that's why you haven't returned to the city in so long. Hey, wait. What are you talking about? Don't even think of lying your way out of this. The scene then shifts to moments after Ye Shen explains the little misunderstanding. So in other words, Master took this female cultivator with him, mistaking her for the undercover attendant I appointed in Tianshu City. Yes, Ma Dude then thought. I really thought you left me a message telling me not to look at other women, but sent a female cultivator to attend to me. Turns out I was wrong. So, still playing dumb? She asked shyly. Even if Master misunderstood, she still knew what she was doing. Why did she continue playing along and follow you all this way? She indeed had a hidden motive. Ye Shen said. This little girl followed me because she wanted my help. In her mind she was busy thinking. Little girl, so Master doesn't view her as a woman. What, does she have enemies? I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to help with, but when she was being eroded by the temptress, she once called out Master. I'm guessing that it has something to do with her sex. Sure. Master is just a hero who likes to meddle in other people's affairs. Hearing that, he smiled slightly and continued. Speaking of which, do you really think that you, Yaner, don't meddle in other people's affairs? Listening to him, she fell silent for a bit, thinking about the past as she once stepped in to save the general when she was young and enslaved, causing her to reply to her boy, I can't be bothered to care. Doesn't Master know? I, Yaner, am now a supreme demon at whom everyone shouts killer and fighter. Taking care of problems isn't as efficient as taking care of people. By taking care, she means killing off. Her words really triggered him as he uttered, nonsense. That if it were really like that, then this little girl would have already died who knows how many times. Master knows Yaner is a good girl with kind intentions. You must have suffered a lot these past few years, right? Now that I'm back, you're free to just be yourself. Even if the whole world collapses, Master will hold up the sky for you. Of course, such sweet words touched her immensely, and could only slightly whisper that he was a dummy to hide her embarrassment. I said, okay, with Master here, I won't have to worry about the little things of this world. Once Master has sorted out his affairs, he should hurry back to the city. There'd better not be a next time, or else I'll really have your legs all cut off. After saying all that, she suddenly closed her eyes, and the possession of the general was lifting off as her soul left the general, and as soon she left her body, the general now became conscious. However, her eyes were filled with intense fury, as she yelled out to him, Her Highness has forgiven you, but I, Xia Chuan, have not. She changed back. He thought, still angered, she continued, Her Highness asked me to follow you. Before we get back to the city, I won't take my eyes off you. I see. I appreciate your effort. Why are there more and more people? He thought. This little girl hasn't woken up yet. I'll take a look. No need. The general stopped him. I'll handle it. Honor Her Highness' decree. Don't touch other women. After some sniffing, she then laid her ear on the girl's chest, looking for a heartbeat. After that, she literally ripped her clothing, showing us a glimpse of them huge monsters that have been teasing us around. Seeing this, Ma Dude was literally stunned as he wondered. Wait. Looking at his panicking state, the general asked, What now? I shouldn't look when ladies are checking each other for injuries. I'll excuse myself and enter the forest. Turns out Ma Dude just wanted to dip out of there and do his own things, as he was busy thinking with her here. I don't need to worry about taking care of that little girl anymore. I can finally travel to Futy Cave now. But it was not going to be that easy, as the general threw her sword to block our boy's path, informing him, If you find it rude to look, then just close your eyes, sir. But don't leave my sight. This is a decree from Her Highness. As she said that, Ma Dude could feel the ominous aura coming from here. Why is she so difficult? He wondered. Wanting to hear an answer, the general asked again. I understand, he replied. So, how is that little girl now? Stupid man. The general thought to herself, but still answered him. The temptress entered her inner den and eroded her spiritual fetus. This is difficult to deal with. I can only use a conservative method first. Let's have her wake up. Ma Dude, on the other hand, was busy thinking. Normally, when this happens, the spiritual fetus needs to be extracted from the body and repaired using specific techniques. However, doing so usually causes some damage to the physical body. Curious about the conservative method, he decided to peek a little, still wondering, is it a new technique created by later generations? However, when he turned to look, he saw the general undressing her outer top, showing us her glorious sword scars and ripped body. She took off her clothes. Feeling a gaze upon herself, she immediately stared back at Ye Shen with murderous intent. After that, the general got to work and did stuff to the unconscious Xiao, who was busy moaning loudly. She reacted. Is it here? TSK. So tight. Relax a bit. Hearing all of that, It deeply wounded Ma Dud's pride as he could only listen to such things but could not watch, nor do anything, also trying to calm himself. No, don't be curious. After a long battle, the general was done with everything needed. Ha, that's about it. It looks like she'll wake up later. You, sir, can relax now? However, as she looked at our boy, who was finally finished by all the sounds and with a weak voice, spoke to her, "Oh, good work. You look tired." What's wrong? Laughing tiredly, he thought. Haha, you're asking me what's wrong. The reason I'm this tired. We are then shown some scenes from when the general was healing the girl and Yeshen always trying to make up stories to dip out of there. The temptress hurt her severely. I'm going to destroy their lair. Don't worry, sir. Her Highness has already sent a team to deal with it. It's all because of you, he lamented. You've worked hard saving her. Allow me to treat you to some food. Many thanks, but I have been fasting for the past 3 years. You're still not letting me go? Then there must be elixirs growing in this beautiful place. How about I go pick some to replenish your energy? I have no fear, no hunger, no fatigue, sir. All you need to do is stay put. Thinking of another excuse, he spoke out. Actually, I want to create gold. Meaning, he wants to poop. Throwing a piece of wood, she instructed him. Go ahead. Witnessing her unreasonable demands, Ma Dude cursed internally. I already used the excuse of creating gold. I still can't escape. Although I like dogs, this type isn't cute at all. But outwardly he spoke out. Never mind. Which caused her pause a little. She then told him the female cultivator's vitality was severely damaged, and that recovery method was only temporary. Elixirs will be needed to nourish her later. Since it's already late, now's not the time to go looking for them. After all that work, I am indeed a little tired. How about we rest here? We can search for the elixir when the sun rises. What do you think? Hearing all that, he was stunned for a bit, but realizing this was his chance, he became determined and responded. Sure. Holding her shoulder, he told her, you can rest. I'll protect both of you. Sir, you. It turned out Ma Dude was knocking her out. Sorry, I pressed down on your sleeping point. This refers to an acupuncture point. May you rest well. As she fell next to Xiao, Ma Dude slipped away. However, it turned out that they were all just pretending to be asleep, as the general confidently opened her eyes, while Xiao did it secretly. Before she opened her eyes, she thought back to the time our demon Empress was talking to her. Xiao Chun, Master, is soft-hearted. He pities the weak and helps the young. I do believe that, but this time, I feel like he's hiding something from me. But don't follow him too closely. Leave a little room. See if he's really just helping out. With that in her mind, she stood up to chase. And seeing her getting up, Xiao thought to herself, heavens, that silver hair and animal ears, no doubt about it. She is Xia Chun, that military general working for the Empress. Looking at her posture as if preparing to lounge off, she analyzed the way she's standing. She's definitely going to chase him, as the general was about to chase. Xiao shouted out to her to wait. However, finally realizing her state below, she panicked while thumbing down. My clothes. Why are they torn? My inner Dan area is a bit sore. As always, the girl's mind was filled with impure thoughts. Could it be that during that time when I lost consciousness, However, her illusion was shattered by the general. Xiao Chun, hey, you were bewitched by a temptress. Your inner Dan is unstable right now, so don't move. Shocked, she wondered, temptress. Wait, those images did indeed appear in my head. Those shameless images. Who is that female dog? After all my planning, I completely miscalculated the chance of being controlled by a temptress. I have never been so rude to anyone before. Wait, the reason I'm safe right now is because that cultivator helped me. After all that, only now do I feel shy. Oops, it seems that I'm still attractive. Of course, that's definitely the case. Hearing her rumbling about, she got annoyed. Just stay here, she informed her. However, still excited, Xiao Kaiokio yelled out, General, are you going to find him? Let me come with you. I have to thank him for risking his life to save mine. This kindness, I can only thank him with my body. Hearing that the general was at her wits' ends, getting more and more annoyed, and with a thud she came close, and lifted up Kaiokio's face, and coldly said, I never thought that this little girl would value friendship so much. However, Xiao was no pushover as she slapped away her hand. General, what are you saying? Only a person of lower class would not repay their gratitude. What an interesting sentence. Come on then, repay me with your body. After all, I am your savior. Hearing that, it's as if she just swallowed a rock, shattering all her thoughts. What? Could it be a mirror morphing secret technique? How could this happen? And sheathing her sword, huge amounts of aura was blasted out, creating an overwhelming pressure. Okay, you are in no position to stand against the Supreme Empress. With that, her purple aura trapped Xiao in place, not forgetting to tell her. The one who wants him is Her Highness. You are but one among the million stars. How could you compete against the bright moon? Just stay here. This formation will protect you. And with her final words told her to stop her wishful thinking, which dampened her spirit for a bit. While running within the forest, her thoughts bothered her more and more, thinking, why does Her Highness want him, and no one else? And just thinking about her drove the general's emotions wild. Sus much. Well, she was really sad about that fact. Tears nearly streaming down her face. Yaner. Why? However, her inner thoughts were interrupted by a shout from behind. General. Looking behind, she saw Xiao Qiao tailing her, which caught her by surprise. Didn't I tell you to stay put? My ground formation couldn't trap her, she wondered. While holding her trusty talisman as always, Xiao Qiao smiled, informing the general, I have my ways, don't worry, General. TSK. I underestimated her. I need to use a more powerful move, thought the general. But before she could make her move, Xiao Qiao interrupted. General, you have misunderstood. I don't like him. Akem. How shameless. Shifting back to our boy Yeshen, who had arrived at his destination, landing gently on the ground. Swoosh. I'm finally here. Before him was the Feudy Cave, which had the wind blowing in and out. However, before he could enter, we are first taken back to the past, as the young third disciple was calling for him. Master, look. I dug something up from the ground, a spiritual centipede. These creatures only appear in locations with abundant spiritual energy. Luo. It looks like we've come to the right place. But master, why do we need to find a place to grow elixirs? Shouldn't a cultivator just sit and practice meditation from dusk until dawn? That's correct, he affirmed. But does Luo remember why master founded the Xuanji sect? Confused, the girl mumbled. In troubled times, looking for paradise makes even the poor hopeful. That's right, this is what I want with all my heart. But just having great supernatural powers is not enough to achieve this. True power should be beneficial to the world. Today, Luo and I found the ideal place for farming elixirs, which may help more people in the future. Luo likes master, and also what master wants to do. As they returned to the Feudy Cave, which was better looking at that time, little Luo spoke. Don't worry, master. Luo will turn this place into the paradise of master's dreams. Haha, okay? Let's make use of Luo's blessing, and name this place Feudy Cave. The Chinese characters used in Feudy have the meaning of blessing. Still looking at the now gloomy place, he still smiled while saying how nostalgic it was to see it. Wait, Luo has now become a woman who's made a name for herself. What was that saying again? Women change when they come of age. Feeling something, he wondered. Oh, the two girls that pretended to be asleep are probably chasing my fake body by now, right? I should thank that dog general for exposing her flaws. Surely enough, the general and Xiao Qiao were chasing his paper clone. Yeshen then continued. That was the only way I could smoothly steer my boat and avoid the tigers. Hey, wait, it's not right to trick people. I'll settle this matter first and then make amends with them. They shouldn't catch up to my fake body. So soon shifting to the busty duo, it seemed that Xiao Qiao was embracing the general, which naturally stunned the general, causing her to blush a little. What are you? She tried to protest, however Qiao did not let her finish as she covered her mouth with her hand. General, please don't make a sound. If this causes him psychological trauma, then he'll be unable to even lift his head. Shouting in a whisper, she said, are you just going to let him be then? It's such a waste that Her Highness thinks of him as a gentleman. I can understand how you feel. Under Her Highness moonlight, he is going as far as to express his desires to a tree. Since the clone had no intelligence, it was repeatedly hitting the tree. Qiao then continued. But if you look closely, he looks experienced. Even the speed varies. He sure is a master. What are you saying? The general yelled back, then thought with anger. No wonder he tried every possible means to leave. It was to relieve his burning desire. I cannot report this to Her Highness. It will dirty her ears. A rustling sound then caught her attention, and surprise, she was somehow trying to take off her clothes, feeding our thirsty eyes. Which naturally surprised the general. Stop, she yelled silently. But Qiao was stubborn as ever, saying, as everyone says, I'll go to hell either way. Just let me extinguish that strong evil desire. No need to thank me. Shut up. She then cursed at our boy, which caused him to sneeze. Who's thinking of me? He wondered, and upon entering the dark cave he felt a wind spirit, then smiled. Right. Wind spirits only appear in places where spiritual energy is abundant. Luo has done a great job maintaining this place. This little girl loves taking credit. The reason she wanted me to rush here must be because she's already completed the Peach Blossom Spring. She deliberately didn't tell Yaner and just wanted me to come praise her alone. Great. Allow me to see this paradise. However, There was no paradise, and before him was a huge centipede, and upon seeing it he was stunned. Hey, where's the promised paradise? The giant centipede, however, gave no time to think as it suddenly charged at him as if wanting to swallow him whole, but with a cold glance. Ma Dude sliced the centipede in half, as if slicing butter. I win. He then raised his hand in the air, and slammed it hard on the ground, causing it to collapse, as he also dove down the new hole, almost like stepping into another realm. His expression was one of knowing, as if he knew what was happening, then asked the one responsible, had enough? Suddenly blue energy gathered to one stop and formed the image of Luoluo. She then opened her eyes, and with a smile greeted him. Master, long time no see. What do you think? Did Luoluo scare you? The monsters inside this cave were all illusions created by you, right, Luoluo? You've honed your skills. Master, you noticed. This isn't our first meeting. It's been so long, will you still not allow me to joke around? Of course. Master is listening to you. I almost forgot that Luoluo loves being praised and playing pranks. Feeling happy, she embraced him. As expected of Master, the person who understands Luoluo the most. He was flustered by her sudden actions, as he tried to protest but to no avail. You little... fine. He then suddenly got serious. Spill it. What are you up to that you're even hiding from your senior sister? Even having your soul leave your body to tell me? Feeling nervous, she hesitantly responded, actually, my soul hasn't left my body. It's just my soul is all that's left. Playfully sticking her tongue out, she continued. I, Luoluo, have died. Not expecting that, he asked with a serious face. Oh, who did this to you? Please calm down, Master. Actually, Luoluo set this up for herself. That's enough talk. You can have a look with your own eyes, Master. Touching his forehead, she showed him her memories. For the 100 years Master's been secluded, countless scoundrels and bandits have laid their eyes on our sect, and once again our sect was under the danger of being wiped out. Fortunately, the senior sister and I remembered your teachings well. Step by step, honing our skills, we were able to make it past that crisis without any losses. After we've slaughtered their leaders, senior sister had to change the name of the sect. Only then were we able to catch our breaths. Even so, 10 years later, it seemed that Luoluo had her bag packed, intending to go somewhere, with Yaner trying to convince her otherwise. Luoluo, all those pests who displayed irreverence to our sect have been wiped out, with your senior sister in power. All we have to do is to wait for Master's return. So why must you leave? However, Luoluo did not intend to tell her, always trying to laugh it off, by responding that it's because Yaner is being too overbearing. No sugar, no staying up overnight, and not even allowed to go down to the fields. At this rate, we might as well be an old married couple. She then changed the mood by grabbing her hand. It's fine, senior sister. The responsibility of looking after the sect is not yours alone. I don't want to worry you. Once you're old and scraggly, I'll probably become Master's favorite once I return. Would you like that to happen? Irritated by her words, she yelled while chasing her. Big words for a little pest, who knows nothing but eating. Stay here, you. Hey, you can't catch me. Inwardly though, she was hiding something. Forgive me, senior sister. The great fortune teller revealed to me that from Master's seclusion, and up to our sect being targeted onwards, someone planned it all out, also giving us hints by showing a silhouette of the Buddha statue. If you were to find out, you would have dedicated everything to wiping out our enemies, right? I don't want to see you looking like that again, senior sister. Oh, Master, I'm sure you'd understand, right? We in these turbulent times. At that moment it seemed Luoluo was fighting the Buddha statue, and sadly came up short, as she got a huge gaping hole to her body, and at that she could only long for the only family they've had. Returning to the present, she still continued with the story. After that bloody battle, I took the Phoenix toxin, and escaped with the spiritual fetus. I then set up a decoy and had Tianshu City built. With that, I had Zhang Kong wait for you to be born, huh? Surely, senior sister still thinks I'm alive. Truth to be told, I wouldn't be able to hold the spiritual fetus for 3 or 5 more years. It's a good thing, Master, that you're here. While she was trying to make light of her situation, Ma Du Ye Shen on the other hand wasn't having none of it, and with a serious tone told her, you did great, Luoluo. Your master understands. Do not worry. I will have a new vessel sculpted with a strong foundation for you. Yes, using the core of our mastermind here. Seeing his fierce gaze, she smiled happily and informed him, Master's the best, but this is going to be more difficult than you'd think. While I'm here with nothing but a spiritual fetus, I'm still a cultivator in the life and death realm. Surprised, he asked to confirm life and death realm. Then thought, Luoluo's level of cultivation has surpassed me. We are then given a brief summary. In the continent of Canyuan, the path of cultivation is split into 6 realms and 9 tribulations: gathering realm, solidifying realm, Foundation Realm, Nascent Divinity Realm, Sculpting Divinity Realm, Life and Death Realm, and within the Life and Death Realm. Surpassing each tribulation is equal to that of the progress gained going from the Gathering Realm to the Life and Death Realm itself. Last time I fought Yaner, she was already standing at the Sculpting Divinity Realm, while my body is sanctified. It all comes down to the matter of my cultivation. I am merely standing at the peak of the Sculpting Divinity Realm, but there's an opponent that even Luoluo, who is at the Life and Death Realm, was unable to beat. How strong are our enemies? He wondered, but Luoluo interrupted his thought, informing him that when she fought that twisted Bodhisattva, its level probably stood somewhere in the fourth tribulations. Even after escaping as a spiritual fetus, I should be able to reforge my body as soon as I can, but I've tried countless methods, with no results. Now that you're out of seclusion, how is Master doing? After listening to her, he asked her a question. You think I'd lose, while also thinking, while it's true I haven't made any progress with breaking out of this realm, but with my sanctified body I should be able to stand up to a fourth tribulation. Lu then replied to him, I knew you'd try to fight them head on. However, if you're going to win, you come back with an overwhelming victory. Am I right? Victory by an inch is still a loss. I see Luoluo knows me well. She suddenly spat out a drop of liquid energy. That's the reason why I've remained here. This ice silkworm is a dried dan I've made using priceless ingredients I've gathered throughout. If you make a breakthrough after taking that, it'll be a major boost to your chances of winning. Feeling something wrong, he seriously asked. Is that another lie I'm hearing, Luoluo? With such a marvelous pill, Luoluo, why didn't you use it for yourself? Even as a mere spiritual fetus, make a breakthrough with that and your chances of reforging your own body will be much greater. Not to mention, these so-called priceless ingredients are no different than the ones I've seen 100 years ago, and they have no such effect. Luoluo, this ice silkworm of yours was made with your own spiritual fetus. Not expecting him to suddenly say it out loud, she suddenly burst into laughter. Ha wah ha 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 bwa ha 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 ah ha 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 ha. As expected from Master, Luoluo lost this time. Turning his back to her, he instructed, be good and wait here. Don't worry about the breakthrough. Your master will be back shortly. However, she suddenly pierced him with the ice silkworm, and playfully told him, I found an opening. Caught you, master. As the powerful spiritual energy was surging through him, he revealed a panicked expression, shouting, Luoluo, that's your own spiritual fetus. Take it back. With her final words and spiritual energy enveloping him, she lovingly told him, Master, say hello to senior sister for me. You two have always been the most dearest to Luoluo. After she gave him all her power, the cave began collapsing. So you've been holding up this feudy cave all together by yourself. Holding her spiritual fetus, he sadly remarked, I did say I wanted to borrow your luck, but I never asked you to force yourself to hold on like this, you fool. With that he began absorbing the spiritual fetus, creating a powerful commotion. After he absorbed the energy, he began thinking out loud. Forgive me, Luoluo. Your master will have to go back on his words again. As he pulled out the heavenly scroll, he informed her that she could go greet her senior sister herself. As he was placing her soul in the book, he began thinking, the heavenly book can nurture souls. If I keep Luoluo inside the book, her soul will not scatter. I suppose this will do for now. Finishing what needed to be done, he suddenly became serious. I know you've always been fond of traveling, right, Luoluo? Why don't we go on a stroll? I'd like to pay a visit to our mastermind here. With that he made the resolve to make the one responsible pay. Shifting back to the two girls, they felt the ground shaking from all the commotion caused by our MC. The general, cautious as ever, wondered, what's going on now? In the next second, the paper clone they have been following exploded, causing her to wonder even more. Decoy, I'm sure I got his scent down, so when did he? However, before she could finish her words, her sensitive ears sensed something, which got her on high alert. A surge of energy from that direction. Someone made a breakthrough. It's a significant level. From behind, Xiao Qiao groaned in pain, falling on her knees. Worried, the general asked, what's wrong? At ease, Xiao Qiao tried to calm her down, but inwardly she was busy thinking about how there was no mistaking it. Her core will only react like this when it senses someone with a wholly young body. If someone were to cultivate with someone like that who also made a breakthrough, then the Dan's durability will also be improved. Right now, this is the best chance I have. Suddenly the general interrupted her thoughts. Hey, you look unwell. Was I not thorough enough? Is she worried about me? Oh, she serves the Empress after all. If she left me and decided to find that cultivator herself, she wouldn't be able to report back to the Empress, right? But suddenly she thought of her past memories with her master, and made a resolve. All creatures of this world, throughout heaven and earth, there's nowhere to hide. With that she unleashed her trusty talismans, and executed a spell to trap the general, who was caught off guard, thinking. A mystical concealment gate formation. With resolve in her eyes, Xiao Qiao Qiao continued her words towards the general. Today, I will go after the man the Empress set her sights on. He's a rare holy young sanctified body that's not seen in 100 years. I can finally replenish my master's inner Dan, and extend her lifespan. Please overlook this general, and step aside. The general fierce as ever asked her or else. With that she sliced the little talismans that dared to bound her. She then continued, you didn't expect to actually beat me, did you? If you were to behave and let me take care of Her Majesty's matters, perhaps she may overlook your foolish aspirations. But that is out of the question if you were to act out of line. As her sword neared her neck, the general did not stop. And for that matter, is this how your master taught you? All that talk, you still had to rely on others to do everything for you. Typical of low lives to resort to such methods. Hearing such words, it's as if it triggered something deep inside Xiao Qiao Qiao, and with a resolute voice asked her to take that back, surprising the general. However, Xiao Qiao Qiao continued, while holding the sharp knife with her bare hands, I demand you to take it back. What does my uselessness have to do with my master? As she said that, more talisman attacks fired at the general. It's useless. Take a break inside my earth spirit formation, a seal formation. When did she then thought back to the time when Xiao Qiao Qiao hugged her tightly, and figured that it was then. Xiao Qiao Qiao then explained, the earth spirit formation severs your pact with blood, and can only be dispelled by the caster. Only those on the life and death realm can force it apart. Your martial training is 10 times as strong as mine, General. Of course I wouldn't be able to stand up to you. The gate formation is just a sleight of hand. I was betting on your distaste for my methods. Furious, the general shouted, you planned this all along, you fraud. Liar. Turning towards her, she informed her, I never lied to you. It's precisely because I'm the helpless type. I must rely on these cheap tactics without a master around. I had to figure it out for myself. It has nothing to do with my master. As she flew off, she kept thinking, you think I wouldn't want to bet on my life, and give everything I had to secure a safe passage for my master? I did everything I could. I had no other choice but to resort to these methods. Step by step, I'll eventually be able to save my master. Then silently affirmed, I'll protect you, master, no matter what mud I have to dig through to soil my hands. Out of nowhere the Bodhisattva appeared right next to her, edging her on. That's the spirit. Startled by his sudden appearance, she panicked. Lord, what is he doing in a place like this? The Bodhisattva then informed her, the cores you have offered me throughout this year were made using inferior ingredients from grass-fed spirit beasts. If you pay me back using your bodice core, my heart will be at ease. In fact, I can sense a fine ingredient in your vicinity, one of a recently made breakthrough from the life and death realm. You will bring that back to me. It could be seen that the girl did not enjoy taking instructions from him. However, our boy Ye Shen came to the rescue, informing the Bodhisattva to spare his efforts, as he was right there, not forgetting to emit his powerful killing intent. Panicked to see him there, Xiao Qiao Qiao stuttered, how did you? However, Ye Shen interrupted her, I wasn't talking to you. He then thought to himself, that figure behind her, that's the one from Luowulf's recollection. It seems like that's the one behind it all. The Bodhisattva then came close to him. Oh, whoa, not bad. A mere life and death realm is able to sense my presence. Very good. The ingredient brought himself to me. Ingredient? Ye Shen asked. He then punched the Bodhisattva square on the face, while informing him, I'm here to end you with a half-broken face. He spoke out. We've got a feisty one here. Even better. They then exchanged another attack, creating a powerful energy wave, also affecting Qiao Qiao, who was now stunned at this moment. How could this be? He's able to hurt that person's projection. Punching him one more time, Ma Dude continued, Foul Bodhisattva, were you the one who harmed Luo? Reeling from the punch, he next saw our boy trying to attack him once more, naturally angering him. Insolence. I am the gatekeeper Bodhisattva of happiness and sorrow. You will acknowledge my supremacy. Observe and kowtow. With that he reached out to our boy with his massive figure, and sandwiched him in between his palms. Oh, even if you were to have made a breakthrough onto the life and death realm, your body is still of mortal born. But to be able to shatter my visage, I acknowledge your strength. That kind of attack, however, was not going to stop our boy, as he shattered the hands that were restraining him, then began gathering his energy into his hand projection. Whatever dirt deity you are, just call in your real body. I don't care what form of Bodhisattva you are. Those who lay a finger on my disciples, I'll send them off myself. With that he unleashed the furious attack, blasting away at the Bodhisattva, which caused mass distraction. After that the Bodhisattva's head fell upon Ma Dude's hand with a thud. The dismembered head then began speaking. Disciple, now I remember. A while ago, I do recall squashing an insect, didn't I? The way you present yourself, I can certainly see the similarities. Ha ha ha. That one was also of the first tribulation in the life and death realm I have shattered. Even if that one were to escape as a spiritual fetus, there is no hope of regaining a physical body. The dying throes of that one mentioned something about a master. Hehe, your fate will be no different from that insect. Tired of his rumbling, he squashed his head. Such harsh words for someone who ran that quickly, that I have to acknowledge. Though there's no hurry. He suddenly shifted his gaze to the now worried Xiao Qiao Qiao. The scene then shifts to some time later, after they have captured Xiao Qiao Qiao for interrogation. The general, however, seemed unsatisfied, as she shouted, "Sir, what is the meaning of this? After all she's said and done, you're willing to let her off like that? She's under the palm of our enemy, and the path she walked has never been a noble one. The way I see it, you should take her in and interrogate her." After some silent contemplation, Ma Dude turned to ask Qiao Qiao, "Child, what is your relation with the great fortune teller? After I've exorcised that bodhisattva, I can no longer sense him from you." And that's when I discovered traces of that fortune teller. Surprised that he asked her that, she silently asked him in a shaky voice, "How did you know my master's title?" The general was also surprised. "What? That airy diviner is your master? You're Her Majesty's? The supreme sovereign who stands in front of you is Her Majesty, the Empress master." Not expecting that, she wondered. "So he's the founder of my master. He's the legendary demonic supreme. And here I thought he'd be some white-haired old fart." Ma Did then spoke out. "If the fortune teller has bestowed her life upon you, I'm afraid her lifespan is like that of a mortal right now. And that's because of that foul bodhisattva too." Feeling ashamed, Xiao Qiao Qiao lowered her head. "It's all because of me. Because of someone like me. It opened up a chance for that bastard. If my master hasn't passed on her energy to me, wouldn't someone like her be more than capable of getting away?" But the moment her spiritual energy wavered, she was captured. That bastard somehow managed to get a hold of her title as the eerie diviner, and had her divine the various ways he could manifest himself in this continent. Since my master refused to assist him, he used his foul spells to bind her body by his will, divinate. After he got the results he wanted, he had me collect 1,000-year refinement pills for him so that he may gain a physical body and walk this realm. But he did a number on my master. She can neither live nor die. After that, I had no choice but to follow his orders to collect the refinement pills for him. Yet he keeps moving the goalposts. He would continue to torture my master to get me to act. As of now, he's gathered 500 years worth on him. If I can find a young body, it would have been close to my goal. However, that foul bodhisattva is a being beyond this realm. No one can see him coming. Within a flash, he has severed our connection just like that. I can't find him anymore. I can't find my master. There's no need to cry." He comforted her, as he had his own ways to deal with that foul bodhisattva. "Wait, there's a more important matter, sir. Stop being so secretive. What could be more important than saving my master? That's why you shouldn't be so hasty." Ma Did then continued. "The foul bodhisattva came here to seek the longevity elixir, so he expected you to be around me. If you get your hands on it, then he'll profit. On the contrary, it can also take advantage of this time to recuperate and make a comeback. But even with the great fortune teller in his hands, I'll still have my morals." "Demon Supreme, sir, you might as well say it directly." "What should we do?" asked the general. "Create a diversion. When we break into the place beyond the 5 elements, we will immediately divide into 2 groups. You both rescue the great fortune teller, and I'll stall the foul bodhisattva by containing him. It's just that you'll be in a lot more danger than I will be. In order to eliminate the 5 elements, I disrupted your chi flows, which also means you can no longer use magic. The only variable is the length of the time needed for the rescue." "Variable?" she asks. "The hope of survival in this desperate situation is also a variable." "Master, I am willing to give it a try, be it life or death." Seeing her resolve, the general was amazed for a short while. "Okay, once you to succeed, blow this. I will end the battle immediately and join you." With that he enveloped them with his spiritual energy and instructed, while making a hand gesture, "Let's go. The battle begins." They then teleported to the enemy's den. Both girls were suddenly teleported in the middle of a body of water, while traversing through the water. The general, witnessing her use of talismans, was amazed. "A talisman with no additional spells can only burn this bright. Are you sure we're not going the wrong way?" "When I set up the formation and entered the place beyond the 5 elements, I saw in a blink of an eye that the foul bodhisattva was in a pure white land." Xiao Qiao Qiao then replied, "I have walked this path thousands of times. I will never go the wrong way." Pure white land. That was the illusion created by that beast himself. It's essentially no different than this puddle of mud. "Stop," she instructed the general. "We're here. Before them was a huge tree trunk with a huge red giant eye. This thing is called the Tongshan Dao, and it was placed here as a guard by the foul bodhisattva. If one is caught by it within 10 feet, not even bones will be left, master. She is locked behind that thing. The general then thought, judging from its appearance, it should have an excellent field of vision. Even without the blessing of magic, it shouldn't be difficult to kill instantly with my speed, but it may alarm the foul bodhisattva and hinder the demon supreme. Suddenly Xiao Qiao Qiao counted down from 3, 3, 2, wait. First, the general tried to probe what was going on. However, on the count of 1, the giant red eye closed for a slight while, surprising the general. Now, she shouted. With that they all ran for it. What did you do? Nothing. Tongshan Dao has good vision and a fierce nature, but it also has a fatal flaw. Every 30 breaths, it will close its eyes and rest. This is our opportunity. There is a small door ahead. Let's go in through that. Remember, close your eyes when passing through the door, otherwise you'll be blinded by the mechanism. There is a ghost lamp 15 feet away from the small door. Take it, otherwise you will be haunted by wandering spirits. And, looking at her tenacious attitude, the general began some deep thinking. Has she always been this way? Avoiding the traps over and over again, memorizing the tricks of each stage, day after day, just to save her master. If it were me, could I endure and lie dormant like her for so long? After going through the final huddle, her master's figure appeared, making her very emotional. Master, your disciple is here. With some relief she cheered up a little, as the general was just silently observing her. Qiao Qiao then continued. The foul bodhisattva is crazy, and thinks that no one can cross the maze and rescue my master. Therefore, no more defenses are set up here. General, as long as we remove the ecstasy nail from master's body, and cut off the iron chain, we can rescue her. After accessing the situation, the general warned something doesn't smell right. The eerie diviner has the smell of the soul-breaking thread on her. It's entangled in her chi and difficult to decipher. It can connect the caster and the recipient. If the thread is broken, not only will the recipient die, but the caster will be immediately aware of it. What thinking back to her memories with her master, she felt helpless and fell on her knees, despairing. I still can't save her. As she was crying, the general interrupted her emotional outburst. Don't be silly, and taking out a blue jade stone, she said. The demon supreme had us both come together. Here you go. Her Highness Jade Messenger, also known as the Revival Talisman, can be used as an extra life when encountering a certain death. Thinking back, the Supreme had already noticed that I had a Jade Messenger at that time. After all, Her Highness' aura was on it. The soul-breaking thread only recognizes the caster, not the recipient. All you need to do is use your hair as a matchmaker, and tie it around the charm. Have it replace the eerie diviner. Hearing that, her eyes regained hope once more, shifting to the main battle. Seeing our boy Ye Shen appearing out of nowhere, the foul bodhisattva was amused. However, for a moment something caught his attention. Oh, the soul-breaking thread. Hey, was I mistaken? Seeing him distracted, our boy Ye Shen called for him. Hey, then threw one of his punches. Where are you looking? You should be focused when fighting. I'm going to teach you that now. Understand? With his head separated, the foul bodhisattva spoke out. Little brat, haven't you figured out the situation? In here, you are, but something in my pocket. With that he attacked him, changing into a new different form with multiple heads and grotesque body parts. Your only choice is to be dismembered by me. So noisy. What did you do? What's that sound? Finally gearing up to take things serious, Ma Dude made a solemn resolve. Not, what did I do, but what I'm about to do. Now I can finally beat you up with no remorse. This, feeling his energy, the bodhisattva yelped in pain. Ah, yang energy, the purest kind of yang energy. You still have so much of it. The purest yang body of the life and death realm could see my true body, but they're still intact. This talent, it's truly outstanding. I'll definitely eat you. Grabbing him, Ma Dude tried to swallow our boy whole. You fallen victim to my teeth bite. Even if you're a powerful person at the sixth tribulation of the life and death realm, you'll be ripped apart by me in the end. Feeling something wrong, the bodhisattva wondered. Akem, I can't bite down. Teasing him, Ye Shen asked. A massage. Smashing his teeth, he said. A mosquito bite hurts more than yours, you brat. Your physical body is sanctified. Smashing him one more time, he teased again. What? Are you jealous? I still have a surprise for you. Ma Dude truly wanted to smash him apart, as he followed up with another heavy blow, bursting his stomach apart. This is a physical body. Isn't that what you wanted? Ma Dude then popped one of his grotesque body parts, which caused him to flee from pain. Just what kind of divine being is this brat? He could create a physical body for me with his bare hands, but in the place beyond the 5 elements, if one has a physical body, they'll disappear. I need to get out quickly. However, he was not about to go far, as he was suddenly bound by Ye Shen's golden energy. "Where are you going in such a rush?" he asked. Demonstrating his might, Ma Dude continued, "Our fate has not come to an end yet." His technique was the spiraling gate of 9 heavens formation. Intense. "Oh, what kind of technique is this? It can trap me so tightly that I can't move." However, his body parts kept being slashed by our boy, controlling the golden strings by his finger. Ma Dude said, "Yeah, this feels just right. You must be happy to have a physical body now, right? So why are you showing a distraught expression?" Next second, Ye Shen bound his mouth shut. "No need to speak. I understand. It's because the body is too ugly. It's okay, I'll help you fix it." With that, he kept manipulating the golden strings, reforming his look, and with a cunning smile, continued, "There's still much to fix. No hurry." He then began chopping off his body parts again. "This leg, it will cause you harm from all directions, which is no good. This head, it will cause you to reminisce too much, which is no good. This and those." After mutilating him multiple times, he informed him you have no use for them. Witnessing his new state, Ma Dude was delighted. "Yes, much better." Not wanting to give up, the Bodhisattva spoke out. "Little brat, do you really think you can kill me like this? I still have a physical body outside this place." Soul-breaking thread activate. "Come, great fortune teller." However, he was unaware that the great fortune teller was rescued, and the body was replaced by the blue jade from earlier, which naturally surprised him. Unable to hold it in anymore, Ma Dude Ye Shen burst out into laughter. "Was this your physical body? It's so small and unique, but you're so big. Can you really fit?" Infuriated, he asked, You did this. I'll kill you. I'll definitely kill you." Suddenly light appeared around the Bodhisattva's body, which began to heal him gradually. The body that was supposed to disappear. "It's healing." Holding up the heavenly scroll, Ye Shen continued, "The body will disappear. I know you're in a hurry, but slow down. I'm still here, aren't I? I said I'd fix it. I'll fix it until I'm satisfied." The scene then shifts to the girls with a golden leaf guiding them somewhere. "Master, the leaf showed us the way. We're here." However, before she could finish her sentence, before them was a surprising scene, with Ye Shen sitting in front of the destroyed Bodhisattva. This is coming. "How is the fortune teller?" he asked. "Thanks to the general's help, her life isn't in danger. She just needs to wake up." "Sir, is that thing dead or alive?" "What? Dead? Isn't that punishment to light?" Qiao Qiao shouted, then continued, "It made my master stay on the border of life and death. How is he worthy of just having a body and soul that disappeared? Cutting it into pieces, boiling and making medicines out of it isn't enough." Amused by her words, he smiled knowingly. That still wouldn't be severe enough. I used a technique to imprison him here, and placed a physical body restriction on him. This way, he'll suffer the pain of his body being reconstructed forever." As expected of the master, the general beside them was busy thinking. Relieving one's chi is one thing, but more importantly, the foul Bodhisattva has no chance of leaving the place beyond the 5 elements this way. Now that I think about it, since we entered the place beyond the 5 elements up until I used the Jade Messenger to save the Eerie Diviner, the Demon Supreme had already foreseen all the possibilities, and this result must be been within his calculations. Is this what we call the strong? After laying the great fortune teller down, Qiao Qiao asked, "Sir, is it true that master isn't in a good state?" Ma Dude then replied to her, "The reason why her physical body could survive the place beyond the 5 elements is because of the foul Bodhisattva's chi. Now that it has declined, I have to redirect her chi flow. Before the chi disappears, stand back. So the reason master hasn't woken up is because of chi?" asked Qiao Qiao. "That's right. The fundamental reason is that her body is too weak without the life energy protecting her heart. However, her spiritual energy is yin. It's the opposite of mine, so I can't directly transfer chi. I can only stabilize her life first, then return to the outside world to think of a solution." After hearing that, she wondered, "Master, was it for me?" Gathering her courage, she spoke up, "Demon Supreme, I have the same energy type as my master. Please transfer my spiritual roots to my master." "Transfer your spiritual roots? Then you'll..." "General, have you thought of how your life will end? Thanks to heaven's gift, my inner Dan is extremely yin, which is nicknamed the ultimate yin furnace. At first, I thought my life would end as being just a tool to help others practice cultivation. Everyone despised me. They would approach me for profit, just because I was born as a bad seed. Truth is, I never thought that I'd have the opportunity to save someone, and she just so happens to be the most important person to me. This would be a wonderful ending for me, so please grant my wish." She bowed honestly. After a while, he agreed. "Okay." With that, golden energy surrounded Qiao Qiao, and before it could begin, she pleaded, "There's one more thing. When Master wakes up, please tell her that Xiao Xiao has gone to travel around the mainland in order to become a professional cultivator. That way, I'll be more fulfilled." With that her eyes closed slowly, and after some time had passed, she seemed to open her eyes. Hey. After my spiritual roots were transferred, my body should have disappeared. How am I still? However, before she could finish, Ye Shen interrupted her. "Silly girl, if someone else were to perform the spiritual root transfer, you would indeed die. But I was in control of the situation, so why wouldn't I save your life? It's just that your spiritual roots are gone, and your inner Dan is also useless. I'm afraid you won't be able to cultivate anymore." Feeling immense gratitude, she jumped to embrace him. "Oh, okay, this couldn't be better. Master is saved, and I don't have to be a bad seed anymore. Demon Supreme, thank you. Wait, just saying your gratitude is enough. How could it be enough?" The general, witnessing everything, smiled gently, while thinking, "A strong person with a soft heart. Her Highness chose the right man. Enough. Everything has been more or less sorted out. Let's go back." With that he opened a teleportation gate. As the others were going in, it seemed he was distracted by something, making Xiao Xiao call for him. "Sir, coming." Time then shifts to the sect, as the three of them were before our mighty demon Empress. "So, care to explain what happened?" Yaner, listen to me. I'm listening. Allow me to listen carefully about why you returned as the first tribulation of the life and death realm after just going on a little trip. Never mind the junior sister, the fortune teller, but why did this female cultivator also return to the sect? Master, you'd better choose your words wisely. If you say the wrong thing, punishment will be ensured. Seconds later the injured fortune teller was brought in, making Xiao Xiao worry a bit, which caused the general to comfort her. "Don't worry. Her Highness has already asked for the sect's best medical practitioners to treat the eerie diviner, so believe in her. She'll wake up soon." "Yeah, Her Highness has countless talented medical practitioners. I definitely believe her. I've really caused you too much trouble during this trip. By the way, where did Her Highness and the Demon Supreme go? I'd like to bow and express my gratitude to them." Hearing that, the general panicked, then pushed Xiao Xiao away. "I'll take you to change and eat first. Those two are probably busy." And indeed they were busy with our demon Empress, being major sus, not knowing if she was interrogating him or seducing, making our boy Ye Shen panic, as on top of that, he was bound to the bed. "Yaner, what are you doing? I can understand that you wanted to find someplace secluded to question me, but why did you tie me up?" Blindfolding him, she informed him. "Be patient, Master. Don't talk so much." While she was undressing her outer layers, at this moment Ma Dude's mind was filled with thoughts. "This eldest disciple of mine is really annoyed. Seems like she won't let me go so easily. I'll let her do as she wishes to calm her down first." Wait. This feeling, what Master said, was all too coincidental. Yaner is no longer a foolish 3-year-old child. The truth silk will force you to tell me the truth. We then get a brief summary about the truth silk, which is a sharp weapon for interrogating suspicious gangs in the Wu Yi sect. After infusing it with spiritual power, connect it to the suspect and interconnect their senses. When someone speaks the truth, the other person will feel immense pain. Panicked Ye Shen shouted, "What would I do if I hurt you? Yaner, please listen to me, and remove it." However, she pressed on him even further, seductively saying, "Master, when you first achieved the first tribulation of the life and death realm, did you do something with that female cultivator? She doesn't plan on giving me a chance to refuse at all." He thought, then replied, "Yes, happy." Our demon Empress continued, "The truth silk didn't react. It's a lie then, as expected. Master is afraid of hurting me, so he's lying on purpose, but a lie is a lie. I'd be willing to feel a little pain, instead of hearing lies that hurt my heart." Hearing that, it's as if it triggered something in him, as he thought. The reaction of the truth silk. She's telling the truth. As a master, how could I allow my disciples to feel pain? He then tried to call out for her, "Yaner." However, she prevented him from speaking, then laid down on his chest, continuing to say, "If that fortune teller really is the master of that female cultivator, then did you rescue her because you care about her, or the female cultivator?" Stunned by her continuous questioning, he wondered more, then thought, while almost embracing her, "Whether it's the little girl or the fortune teller, I rescued them because they're both members of my sect. There isn't any other reason. I am your master, so how could I involve my love for my disciples with my duties? The question is, neither of these two answers is the truth. Which one wouldn't cause Yaner harm?" he thought while patting her head. "Master," Ma Dude then answered. The fortune teller, hearing that, it could be seen that her eyes were hurt by his answer, which caused her to nervously wonder. "No pain. It's a lie. Could it be that Master cares for that female cultivator more?" Scared of her thoughts, she pounced on him, hugging him tightly. You took the female cultivator back to the sect with you. Have you developed feelings for her? Panicked, he hastily replied, "Oh, that's not it." Oh. However, because he spoke the truth silk shocked her, causing pain. Ach, Yaner. Oh no, I accidentally told the truth. I caused her pain. No, I need to undo this silk first, he thought. Panting heavily, our demon Empress called out for him. Master, Yaner is so happy. Which struck him by surprise as she told the truth. It hurts. She's telling the truth. But why? Why is Yaner happy that I have no feelings for that little girl? Now, my final question, Master. Do you want to spend a night together? Hearing that she asked him if he wanted to sleep together, he immediately became stunned. However, at this moment his mind was entangled with confusing words, making his face rather dumb. A night together, light together, fight together. Looking at his dumb face, our Empress pouted. You dummy, stop playing dumb. What's so difficult to understand? In saying that, she wrapped her legs around our boy Yeshen, which made him shriek back in embarrassment, as he stuttered. I am Master. Is Yaner not pretty enough? I know. But, if Master doesn't want me, I'll keep on hurting until you tell me what's really on your mind. Let's see. Will you finally give in? Mind you, she said such words while gently biting on his ear, causing him to finally be unable to handle it enough. He tried to protest, however it was futile in front of our persistent Empress as she grabbed his mouth. So you declined to answer? Even better. With that she also grabbed his hand, placing it on her thighs. I'll take your silence as a yes. In saying that, she tried to get things started, which massively overwhelmed our boy Yeshen, as he used his escape technique, bursting into smoke and replacing his body with a puppet. How he escaped, wondered the Empress, and shifting to our boy, who just escaped from the lion's den, could be seen looking rather flustered. Damn it. As a master, how could I have these thoughts towards my own disciples? The mighty Empress was also left flustered by her own actions. Huh? That's why he's running with this kind of strength. He might have hurt me by accident, silly master. That's fine. We've got the entire day ahead of us back to the MC, to drive away the naughty thoughts in his mind. He stood underneath a waterfall, chanting his mantra, may my heart and soul be as one, as my energy flows freely in harmony. No change shall move me. May my heart and soul be as one. As my energy flows freely in harmony, no change shall move. However, just thinking about our Empress again, his banana nearly bursted out of his pants, and to avoid the thought, punched himself. Sigh. No matter how many times I read the heart-calming mantra, it's useless. It seems my training is still lacking. Yaner, weren't you that independent little lady I used to know? You had such a foul mouth, but your heart was at the right place. You'd never fight over anything, and quietly follow behind your senior sisters. Years ago, when our sect was in danger, I slew my foes at the front lines, while you stayed behind without a word to make sure everything's alright back home. You told me all you wanted for our sect is everlasting peace, to remain a family. If we're family, why are you coming on to me? And how should I face you? He thought. Then suddenly a voice from his back spoke out, questioning his words. Are you just playing dumb, Master? Or do you really not know? Turns out it was the third disciple Luoluo, emerging from the heavenly scroll. Lu, you can reform yourself, yeah. It's all thanks to Master tucking my soul inside the heavenly book. I've been slowly nurturing my soul, she replied. You still need to pay attention to your energy output. Suddenly materializing like that can be dangerous, then continued. While I fought that Bodhisattva, I sealed a great deal of his cultivation inside this order jade. But since your current being is non-recipient, I was going to slowly transfer this back to you while you recover. You still haven't answered my question, said Luoluo, as she questioned further. Are you truly not aware of how she felt? Or are you avoiding her because you genuinely never felt that way towards her? If not, why not? Look at Luoluo instead, she said playfully, stunned by her words. He tried to confirm more. What do you mean? Was I not clear enough? Since Master doesn't want to sleep with senior sister, how about with me? Although I'm currently a spirit, Luoluo doesn't no less than senior sister. With that she struck a pose. What do you think? However, for her words, she got a karate chop on her head for speaking nonsense. Then I shouted, are you pranking me again? Don't think that I can't do anything to you because you're a spirit. Messing with me? Is teasing Master fun? After getting chopped in some silence, she spoke out. It's obvious now, Master. You only view me as a child. An adult isn't moved by a child's words, so they wouldn't be troubled, right? That means you already view senior sister as a woman. Hearing her speculations, he suddenly became very embarrassed, mumbling incoherent words. Am I impossible? He protested. Yaner is your senior sister and also my dearest disciple, so, asked Lu, what does the love between a man and a woman have to do with identity? Or could it be senior sister isn't your type, Master? Would you prefer someone smaller? Nonsense. What does size have to do with this? However, As he turned towards Alu, it seemed she had already retreated inside the heavenly scroll, and later we know why, as our demon Empress was before our boy Ye Shen. Picking up the heavenly scroll, she then called for him. Master, who are you talking to, even hiding in this secret place? I finally found you. Still nervous around her, he shyly grabbed the scroll, thanking her, while also lamenting about how he was caught. Because I suddenly thought of something, he replied. However, suddenly the Empress grabbed his hand, preventing him from escaping again. What could possibly be this urgent? I think I heard something about size. As he was nervous, he began his rambling. Yes, right? According to my observations, size is directly proportional to the amount of inner Dan Qi a person has, thus affecting the speed of breaking through a realm. This is the latest cultivation study Master did. In summary, the larger the size, the greater the cultivation. Oh no. What the heck am I talking about? Haha, such nonsense will definitely be judged. It's hard to get out of this situation. And now Yaner will definitely, however unexpectedly. Yaner chuckled. PFFT. Haha, what nonsense. Master is thinking about random things again. So according to that theory, doesn't it mean that the spiritual practice of men won't be able to catch up to that of women? Hearing those words, as if his heart softened, melting in her warm embrace, and since he was distracted, our demon Empress tried to call out for him. Master, what are you thinking about? Nothing, I just suddenly thought that in this world, only you would laugh at my fantastical ideas. His shy expression while saying that also caught the Empress off guard, making her blush. Cough. Yaner, regarding what you said about that, however, before he could finish his words, as always, the Empress prevented him from speaking. Master has been out for so long, you must be tired, right? How about you rest for a while first? Okay, he replied, then thought, she is still as considerate as ever. It turns out I was overthinking. However, he was not, as in the next second, he was kneeling inside a bathhouse, only donning his little towel, and his mischievous disciple, teasing as ever, called out to him to join in. Master, what's wrong? Are you not coming? Ma did, then finally lost it, thinking, this makes sense. As if it makes any ducking sense. You told me to rest. I thought I was going to eat or sleep, but it turns out, before he could finish the thought, he was interrupted. What's wrong? I remember Master cares about being clean, so why won't you come into the bath? Then continued, the spring water in this bath is called Jade Dew, and it's the #1 nourishing sacred spring in the mainland. Not only can it eliminate fatigue, but also strengthen muscles and bones. On top of that, it can improve cultivation. Master has been out and also broke through the realm in a short period of time, so Yaner thought that this would be the time to replenish your chi, or maybe, I am wrong, she asked coquettishly. No, this is exactly what Master needs. Yaner is careful and considerate of me. I'm extremely happy. It's just a man and a woman. You only needed to bring me here. As for the rest, I could. However, before he could finish, the Empress smiled and pulled him into the bath water, embracing him tightly. Master, I am your disciple. Why do we need to care about age or gender? Also, when Yaner was hurt, Master took care of me much more carefully. Furthermore, just soaking in the jade dew isn't enough. I want you to recuperate so you get twice as strong. It's better to exchange internal chi and replenish your energy in the bath. Don't be stubborn, Master, this time. Just follow my lead, and allow me to serve you, all right? And no need, you don't need to. He tried to resist. However, suddenly Alu appeared from the scroll, cheerful as ever. As he was still trying to resist, Luoluo pushed him from the back towards the Empress, creating an awkward scene. As his hand landed upon our Empress' soft pillow, embarrassed, she called out to him, Master, you're hurting me. Yaner, sorry, I don't like pain. I know. Turns out their little encounter was being witnessed by the general and Xiao, who were super embarrassed at this moment. With their faces turning bright red, unable to handle it anymore, the general tried to shout out to break up the steamy encounter, but Xiao acted quickly by gagging her mouth. General, what are you doing? Have you never heard of the old saying, it's better to demolish a temple than a couple? Not buying it, the general shouted. This is a different matter. They're doing these things before marriage. What about Her Highness' reputation? Where's this coming from? Miss Overprotective. Now who's the one talking about other people's affairs like you just heard? He is a gentle master. Don't worry. Please keep it down. Humph. Speaking of which, thank you for inviting me to come and purify myself in the bath, General. How else would I be able to see this domestic scene? What do you think? However, turning towards the general, she had this sad look on her face, making Xiao think back to the general's words, when she said that the Empress was the one who wants him. That's right, Her Highness is probably an important person to her. The general must feel uncomfortable that she saw such a private scene. After a knowing smile, she spoke out, but you're right, General, if it were anyone else, then this would be fine. But this is Her Highness. Her Highness is famous across the world. She cannot be caught wearing braids and having her arms pinned behind her back. General, move over here a little. Let's find the perfect opportunity, appear suddenly, and interrupt them. Looking at the Empress' seductive face, she also tried to yell out, "No," making the general also gag her mouth. "You can't, shh. Weren't you the one who told me to keep it down? Why are you making noise now? Wait, where's the pure love? How could they actually be doing it? And in a bath too? What if it's unclean and they get an infection? Ha, this is the important part." Xiao Qiao then continued, "There's nothing more important than this. You don't know this, General, but I used to be more than just a fortune teller. I was also half a doctor. Over the years, there have been women who fell ill due to their carelessness. Those ages ranged from 28 to 30. Besides, he has an extremely young holy body known for strength as powerful as a huge brick. If not careful, Her Highness will be injured. And if they have some particular kinks." However, her dirty thoughts were interrupted by the general. "Don't think about those things." But Xiao Qiao still continued, grabbing her hand. "Therefore, as fellow women, we understand the difficulties of a female. Not only should we protect Her Highness' reputation, but more importantly, her health. We must stop accidents from happening." "You're right," confirmed the general. Then how? After some watching and thinking, they both looked at each other, nodding their heads for confirmation. Next second they both dived through the window, attempting to halt their actions. "Please slow down, spare her," they shouted. However, as soon as they entered there was no one before them, making them surprise. Where are they?" From the side it seemed the duo was hiding from the intruders. With an invisibility spell, annoyed, the Empress retorted, "TSK. It's hard to get away with this. I didn't think of setting up a barrier when bathing privately. Thankfully I activated my invisibility spell in time. Now we can continue peacefully, right, Master?" However, the master she thought she was talking to had already substituted his body with a puppet again. "Oh, again? That was close," Ma Did thought while running away. The scene then shifts to the Wu Yi sect outer city, which was crowded and busy as ever, noisy and loud. While walking down the street with Li's soul following suit. "Wow, candied haws. I wonder if there's a kind master who can buy me a bunch of candied haws for me. You're even struggling to form a body. How can you eat a candied haw? Oh, don't I have a master who loves me the most? Even if I'm exhausted physically and mentally, he will never forget the heavenly book and make people unable to see me. That's the only reason Luoluo can come out and wander around. I care for you, but don't you sympathize for Master at all? In the bath, if you hadn't pushed me, if I didn't lend a hand, who knows when Master would touch senior sister? Sigh. Kids shouldn't meddle in adult affairs, that's it," she asked. "You were in seclusion for hundreds of years. Both senior sister and Luoluo are no longer children. You and senior sister are obviously in love. Where's the shame in letting others see, deliberately hiding here in the sex courtyard? I really don't understand. Senior sister won't eat you or anything. It was only the word love and you." However, while still talking she had not realized that Yeshen had stopped due to some reason, making her almost go through her boy. "Master, are you even listening to me?" Witnessing the reason why he had stopped, in front of them were two familiar faces we saw at the beginning, and upon seeing Yeshen the pink-haired Bai Xiao shout to our boy for help. Senior, I beg you, please help my senior sister." Upon seeing them he also remembered the duo, who he first met upon exiting his seclusion. Flower Group by Xiaohua and Flower Group by Kinger. That for more privacy they all retreated to a room, to access the injuries of the green-haired flower girl. After analyzing her body with the heavenly scroll, he sighed in relief. "That does it. Your senior sister is like this due to exhaustion of her inner elixir, and lack of physical strength. I have used magic to replenish it, so don't worry," he reassured her junior sister, and relieved by his words, she hurriedly thanked him. "Boo. Thank you for your help. Without you, I fear that my senior sister..." However, before she could finish her words, the gaze of our boy literally struck her with shock, causing her to whelp out in shock. "Wow." However, with a serious gaze, our boy began his questioning. "Just now on the street, I sensed a strange aura of magic seals coming from both of you. Just what is going on?" he asked, and with a frightened expression, she nervously replied, "As expected of my senior. I'll tell you the truth then." With that in mind she began undressing to show something. "Senior, please take a look." After seeing what was on her body, he immediately frowned upon seeing the seal. "This seal isn't that the holy seal of the Blood River cult that I wiped out myself 100 years ago? Did you guys voluntarily accept the Blood River mark?" "No way. My sister and I are from the Flower Group, and we have sworn to our ancestors that we'd never betray them or leave our sect." "Was it a personal vendetta?" "Impossible. This was the first time my sister and I traveled down the mountain." Luoluo also joined in. even if other people couldn't see her. Oh, that's strange. I've never seen something like this, and we were just wandering around in Wu sect. Master, could these two girls be spies? Listening to his disciple's speculation, he then thought, these two have shown their faces in front of hundreds of people. If they really were spies, why would they return to the Wu sect? Then questioned the girl further. When members of the flower group travel outside the sect, they have to get the master's handwritten order. Did you get involved with the Blood River sect during the process? Unable to believe his words, she wondered how would that be possible. Master asked us to. She then choked on her word as if realizing something, then continued. We came here under Master's orders to look for medicinal herbs in the central part of the continent. During our trip, we passed by Wu sect. Thank goodness you saved us just in time. Afterwards, my sister and I traveled east, but ran into the Blood River cult preaching in a village. No, it was more like torture than preaching. They tortured people into converting, and branded them with bloody patterns, not even sparing a 7-year-old child. Just when my sister and I wanted to hide and wait for the right time to save the villagers, we were caught, and in that crisis, my sister used her magic to protect me, and after a fight, we were able to shake them off. But when we reached an empty area, I found that my sister had already been marked by the Blood River cult. It was a full moon that night, and my sister felt so miserable that she almost killed herself. The road back to the sect is long, my cultivation level is too low, and I was afraid that the people from the Blood River cult would harass us again. I dragged my sister back to the Wu sect, hoping the Empress could stop those people. If I were lucky enough to run into you again, I might be had a chance to be saved again. Ma did then finally replied back, no need to be shy. When traveling, there will be times when you need help, but according to what you just said, the only person who was marked was your sister. How come you? She then answered before he could finish his sentence. The mark on my body suddenly appeared last night. Perhaps they never wanted to spare either of us. Hearing that, he thought to himself, this is a bit troublesome. The Blood River mark, it's a restriction imposed by the leader of the Blood River cult on his followers. Anyone marked will have their spiritual powers extracted from their physical body, and gathered onto the leader's body. The fate of the followers is either to be sucked dry or they'll turn into corpses. To lift the seal, one must kill the caster. The girl then snapped him out of his thoughts. Senior, perhaps by the next full moon, my sister and I will both be affected by these Blood River marks. Last time it was spiritual energy exhaustion, but next time we may lose our physical bodies. If that's the case, please take our remains to the flower group so that we can return to our homes. I will definitely repay your kindness in my next life. Luoluo from the back smeared. TSK. I've seen this scene too many times. Without answering the flower girl, Ma Dude was then seen in the next scene, flying over the buildings of his sect, and Luoluo following suit as always started her usual talking. Master, do you want to leave the city and deal with that red-cloaked guy yourself? Of course, he replied. Hundreds of years ago, the Blood River cult was already an evil cult. I remember their leader's name was Blood River Elder. That's right. But during the sect war, one remembered I did kill him once before. So what? Even though I was killed, I'm still living in the heavenly book, aren't I? Who among those who practice Taoism doesn't have a life-saving trick? But master, is it really okay for you to go to war like this? Ma Dude then replied to her that being a cultivator doesn't mean one can do whatever they want. You just heard that the Blood River cult attacked an ordinary village. Should I just stand by and watch? Not that, she tells him. Then what else do you mean? Senior sister. Deed. She then karate chopped back her master. This is the territory of the Wu sect. If what that little girl said was true, do you think senior sister wouldn't know about it? Oh, he exclaimed in pain, then thought to himself, that's right. Even that little girl could find traces of the Blood River cult. Not to mention Yaner, who's an empress. She's always hated evil, and definitely wouldn't ignore it unless. Luoluo, however, interrupted. Didn't I say that we weren't children anymore? Senior sister must have her reasons for doing this. Master doesn't need to tell her what to do anymore. What's more important is to discuss things with senior sister. Senior sister must definitely be waiting for you to go back. After some silent contemplation, Ma Dude sighed, agreeing with her. Yes, I should go back. But how am I supposed to face Yaner now? He thought internally after all those heated moments during the day. Scene then shifts to our standing in front of our Empress room, as he was still hesitant about seeing her. And immediately as he tried to knock on her door, the room suddenly opened on its own, a cloud of smoke bursting out, and from the smoke appeared our lovely Empress, who seemed to have been the instigator of the large smoke, as she was seen donning an apron. Yaner, he asked in surprise. Master, you came back? After I took a bath, I was hungry, so I set up a small kitchen in the room. I made your favorite fried eggs. Looking at her appearance, he just stood there wondering to himself there was such a big commotion just now. I was afraid to face Yaner, but she was just worried about whether I was hungry. Speaking of which, when we saw those temptresses before, Yaner just exchanged spiritual consciousness with the general and never left the city to look for me. There were probably important things in the sect that held her back. Could it be that Yaner had already found traces of the Blood River cult? With that in mind, he tried to ask her. Yaner, does Master, however, as always the Empress prevented him from saying any further. What Master wants to ask, Yaner already knows. Scene then shifts to some flashback of our little Empress, who was sighing for some reason. Sigh, Master, you said you'd leave, and you actually left. Why crying? She continued. Now that the remnants of evil have been eliminated, there will only be good days in the future. Why couldn't you bring me with you? You just left Yaner by herself outside. Why? She then began explaining to our boy. When Master went into seclusion, I went to the cliff where you were to clean the place almost every day. I hoped that you'd one day change your mind and come out of seclusion to reunite with the sect. But you've been in seclusion for more than a month now. The Blood River ancestor, who you had slain, suddenly appeared before me. Not only did he not die, he also used his magic to brand me with the Blood River seal, making me the cult's forbidden delicacy. At that time, I was already a cultivator, so logically, I shouldn't have been at a disadvantage. But I was suppressed to the point where I couldn't even move. Suddenly, I noticed that he had a red skull, with a Blood River seal on it in his hand. That skull not only looked scary, but also emitted an ominous aura. I determined that the skull was abnormal, so I waited for an opportunity to use my magic to try and break it. Who would have thought that Blood River ancestor would use his spiritual fetus to defend the skull and escape. After that, he disappeared from the face of the earth without any news. After hearing that, he began his speculation. Red skull. According to Yaner, this skull is the secret to how the Blood River ancestor saved his life. Could it be the sacred object of the cult? No, that's impossible. There's no way I wouldn't have known such an important piece of information. Our Empress then interrupted his thoughts. I think it's suspicious, but the Blood River ancestor was deep in hiding at that time, and the revival of the sect was the top priority. So I put that aside for the time being and sent spies to conduct a secret investigation on the mainland. However, chaos began to arise within the Wu Yi sect. He finished the sentence, making her shocked. Master, how did you know? It's not difficult to guess. In the eyes of that guy, you are his beloved disciple, and he should kill you as soon as possible, but he didn't. Instead, he branded you with the Blood River seal. That seal is for him to gather energy and cultivate himself. He probably wanted to do something in the dark at the time. Since he was up to something in secret, the more chaotic the situation was, the better it was for him. Based on his sinister personality, he should release followers in the Wu Yi sect to recruit new members, so that you'll be overwhelmed. But despite that, it's not enough. She interjected. In the past 10 years, that Blood River ancestor suddenly appeared, and gave my spies information that he was recruiting members in the north. He even killed several of my good generals in the spirit realm, which shows that his strength has greatly increased, and he's about to break through the realm of life and death. Among the summons, there was also news of the death of the innocent in Wu Yi sect. I personally confirmed that the mark is exactly the same as the pattern on the red skull. The Blood River seal. Clenching her fist, she continued. When I found out his intentions, I estimated that his cultivation level wasn't high at all, so I sent people out to distribute spiritual medicine to the citizens. After drinking it, you'll have symptoms similar to ones from the seal, but it won't be as worse. It could deceive those donkeys, but they cultivated at a much faster speed than I expected. They saw right through my tactics, and started to abuse the citizens to display power. My heart. I feel. And as if feeling her emotions, he grabbed her hand and looked directly into her eyes, finishing her sentence with the word, hatred, which made her feel some butterflies as Ma Dude was being so serious at that moment, making her world colorful, and Ma Dude did not stop at that as came closer to her, rubbing her cheek. He continued, I understand your suffering, Yaner. The Blood River ancestor is vicious, cruel, and murderous, yet he's never willing to confront anyone head-on. If he wants to hide, no one can find him. If we were to launch an attack right now and kill the believers of the cult within the sect, it would inevitably cause panic among the people, making the situation more chaotic. This would make it even harder to catch the criminals. He spread that news to draw your attention and disrupt the hearts of the people, hoping that you'd be overwhelmed. Once you lose your composure, he will take the opportunity to attack you with one blow. Lost in his words, she could not help but just stand there in awe, and Ma Dude continued, if you focus on the front lines, he can also gather more followers. What a scheming plan. If we don't have patience, we'll fall into his trap. Yaner, your approach was the best choice. Don't worry, I'll definitely cut off his head, and use his blood as a sacrifice. We must somehow, they then spoke in unison, capture him and his followers. After that our lovely Empress then smiled, and said to him, I didn't tell you ahead of time, because I was afraid you'd crush him in a fit of rage. They are just like locusts, hiding behind the citizens and fanning the flames, killing one group in hopes of destroying the rest. Embracing him, she continued, now that I know we both have the same plans, I can't help but feel at ease. Smiling at her warm embrace, Ma Dude wondered, is Master really so reckless in your eyes? What were you thinking? Sigh, you thought if I hadn't met the Flower Sisters by chance, who knows how long it would be until I spoke to you about this matter. If anything comes up in the future, you have to tell me. However, while saying this, he had not recognized that her mood had already begun changing, as she was becoming more and more angry and jealous. The Flower Sisters, Master, you found Blood River seals on the bodies of the citizens, right? Flower. Are they from the Flower Group? Those ladies in white clothing, who once helped our sect? Becoming nervous of her sudden change, he nervously responded, no, nay. It wasn't Rushi herself, it was her disciples. Wandering outside. However, by saying this he had not realized that he made her even more angry, turning her hair into venomous snakes as if wanting to chew him off. Rushi, you even remembered her full name. You have a pretty good relationship. Scared of her fury, he hurriedly responded, Yaner, you got it all wrong. It's just because we dueled with each other before. I haven't seen her since coming out of seclusion, I promise. Calm down a bit. She still snorted, however, making a cute face. Humph, really? And to reassure, he made a solemn vow affirming that it was nothing but the truth. The Empress calmed down. Fine, I will trust you this time. We're even now. From now on, I won't hide anything from you, and Master can't hide anything from me, either. Of course, I'll obey your every word, he responded, then thought to himself, I was just about to praise her for growing up and being smart, but I didn't expect her to still act like a child. As they sat down for more serious talks, Ma Dude began by asking her some questions. So, what do you want to do in the current situation? You can tell Master now. After a knowing smile, our Empress continued to inform him. They wanted chaos, didn't they? Then I'll give them what they want. As the saying goes, the bigger the waves, the higher the fish will jump. So, with that she whispered the rest of the plan to him, blocking us from knowing their plan. The scene then shifts to a certain cave, as we are shown to cloaked men, and the subordinate who had the lighter cloak, called out to the dark-cloaked great ancestor, you really are like a god. That woman of the Wu sect really didn't dare to knock at our door. She definitely wouldn't be able to guess that I'm no longer in the north. However, she within the sect. And without finishing his words, his head was later seen rolling on the floor. Seeing that, the so-called ancestor then sighed, and turned to the one responsible, informing the person, you have led me to the Wu sect, and I will in return see you as an ally. Since we are family, why resort to violence? Seems like the one he was talking to was white-cloaked figure, who was carrying a sword. Her response to the so-called ancestor was the word nuisance, suggesting she couldn't stand the talkative guy from earlier. We then get a brief story of the past, as 5 years ago, the north was occupied by the Blood River ancestors. Forces lurking beneath the great continent began to make their moves, but he feared the central forces assembled by the Empress herself. Even with all those achievements under them, the Blood River cult wouldn't dare to openly quarrel with the Empress. Both sides hinged on a fragile balance, until one rainy day, the Blood River cult brought forth an unexpected bloodbath. We are then shown a cloaked figure running away from a swordsman. A mysterious assassin not only managed to uncover the Blood River ancestors' hideout, but wiped every single elite out. The dude who was running was soon halted by a sword slash ahead of his path, and seeing the assassin, he questioned the person. Who are you? I'm a salesperson, replied the assassin, and we can probably guess the next events, as the escapee's head was seen rolling on the ground. Oh, you're back. The dark-cloaked figure then informed the assassin that if he or she was complaining about the noise, one word and he'll have them all back down. Why resort to violence like you did back then? He then revealed his mutilated face and continued, though I certainly wouldn't mind cleaning up this place for a change. Seeing that he got no response from the assassin, he continued while waving his hand. The mole I've planted in the Wu sect bears news. The Empress is planning on holding the Heaven and Earth ritual tonight. The Heaven and Earth ritual to use the specters of extraordinary individuals to richly enhance one's body. But even a single mishap can cause the energy to backflow. Not only will they fail to break into another realm, but will also lead to true death. Holding a big skeleton head, Ma Dude continued, she must be planning to wipe them all out, and settle our grudges once and for all. As expected of the fiercest woman in the entire continent, yet she's being too hasty with this. The field is set, but all it lacks is the spark. I require more backup. Who would enter the ranks of Wu with me so that they would lead me into the city themselves. Not wanting to waste any more time, the white-clothed assassin pulled out a golden scroll for teleportation. Scene then shifts to the Wu-Yi sect. Top a cliff, and looking down at the brightly lit Wu-Yi sect, Ma Dude became excited. As expected of you, dear friend. It is exactly as you said. The Empress had her force lying in ambush on all the choke points leading to her palace. But even I didn't expect you to have a secret passage, prepared 5 years ago, one that would lead us directly into the palace, no less. Now, let us enjoy the show. After some silent contemplation, the assassin finally replied that he talked too much. The scene then shifts to our mighty Empress, who was now donning white majestic robes, and after some touch-ups, our boy outside the room came to ask if she was prepared yet, and after confirming that she was, they prepared to depart. Let us go. With that, the beginning of the heaven and earth ritual was about to commence, and with the moon shining ever so brightly, the Empress then yelled out to the heavens, as the time of fortune was upon them. Well, this video end here. Be sure to follow for more. Until next time.